Vamos, berapa ramai minat RRQ? Sokong Yen. Aku live kat Facebook. Guys, aku live dekat YT sekali guys. Aku beritahu je aku live kat YT sekali. Terima kasih LE12 LU12 sorry. Kau okey lah Yen. Kau vote je lah duk. Ni atas ni vote. Kau vote atas tu vote. Aku nak tengok berapa ramai yang sokong Vamos and berapa ramai yang sokong RRQ. Sampai 20 minit tu habis. Sebab aku letak masa tu 20 minit guys. Sekarang baru 3 minit. Tak sokong Vamos sebab King Zone dah tak ada. Oh, King Zone dah masuk dekat ni lah. Dah masuk kat Flash lah. 150,000 tu Flash buyout. Real Zone buyout, Zone di buyout 150,000 price tag guys Lepas runding-runding tak tahulah berapa, tapi harga price tag dia 150,000 duk. Kau bayangin 150,000 duk Zone. Boleh beli kereta Mercedes ya, sebiji. Boleh beli A35 tu, beli A35 second. Real main, real, sumpah. Aku tanya geng bos. Aku tanya bos Vamos tu. Aku rapat dengan bos dia guys. Mana aku tunjuk. Ni nampak. Mana ni price tag Zone 150k. By the way, awek mana Yen? Awek tidur. Bapak mahal, ya. Aku kontak dengan owner Vamos. Kalau tak kalah, janji ada Zone, kita sokong dia tu, faham? Kalau Chibi berapa price tag? Kalau Chibi aku tak tahu guys. Sebab dia tak bagi tahu aku. Ke kau nak aku tanya juga? Sekejap aku tanya juga Kalau Chibi berapa price tag? Okay. Kalau Chibi berapa price tag? Mana? Tidak. Tanya. Kalau ia malam sikit 200k. Kalau aku lain kalau aku lain. Mana Vamos siapa Yen? Hanan. Makan lu makan sila. Pergi makan roast tu banyak. Basya babi first pick sumpah. Anjing. Ambil Hali. Zusin. Counter direct tu, direct counter. Saya mampu. Tapi ada skip tu. Tak minat tu aku flash macam tak sistem je main. Benda boleh menang tapi kalah. Menyakitkan hati atau menyakitkan hati. Nak marah tapi kena sabar guys.
Wow, I'm amazed. Now here's the thing, right? You pick up a Baksha, you think, I'm good against the Claude. Go ahead, pick Claude, I dare ya. But it's a Freya now. Like that, then again, he has good anti-heal. What does that do here?
Okay. It controls part of the map still. Sometimes as a Baksha, you're fine to like run into the Freya if you build your Dreadnought armor early. You build a Pauldron soon. Yeah, de-ice. And they heard you out, Renmar. There's the Khalid. Helps them rotate really fast. That's a duo of big chunky dudes running at you. But this carry,
Nasib Neski tak guna Hanabi dia. Neski tak guna Hanabi. Dia nak guna Hanabi pun fikir 40 kali. Tapi ni asyik guna carry tu. Guys, kau nak tahu satu fun fact tak guys? Ini aku bagi tahu kau satu fun fact Dekat Golin, marksman Golin tak banyak pilihan tu. Sumpah kadang-kadang kesian tu dekat meta sekarang. Golin memang tak banyak gila pilihan tu. Kau dah boleh expect guys apa je enemy nak ambil tu. Serius, and kau dah boleh standby untuk counter. Kau dah tahu macam mana nak counter. Macam tu, sekarang Golin paling kesian guys. Roll paling kesian Golin tu. Sebab hero dia tak banyak untuk marksman. Sikit je. Paling-paling carry, Cloud, Obsidia pun optional. Moskop itu pun optional. Yang lain tak boleh pakai lah guys. Faham? Carry, Cloud, Granger pun optional. Carry Cloud je yang kira still boleh digunakan setiap masa dekat Golin. Yang lain semua optional. Susah tu sekarang. Innocent main macam-macam okey pula. Ya, tapi hero-hero tu je lah. Cloud, Carry, siapa nama? Granger, yang lain semua optional. Masman, bukan golin, Masman guys, Masman. Kalau Harit tu dah masuk golin. Aku cakap Masman guys. Kan ada Battery, Cloud, Obsidia, Moskop, Granger, Harit, Nathan, YSS. Itulah masalahnya Noah. Faham tak Noah? Okey, daripada yang kau bagi ni hero yang betul-betul fleksibel adalah Cloud, Carry, Harit tu bukan Masman. Kita ambil Masman. Cloud, Carry dengan maybe boleh letak Granger, tapi Granger pun agak sedikit susah untuk digunakan guys bila hero terlampau banyak dive and terlampau banyak badan. Sebab Granger tak ada damage ni kalau dia nak burst hero badan. Cloud Carry je lah duk. Kalau yang betul-betul tier S punya marksman, yang memang dia boleh masuk dalam meta marksman, boleh masuk every game, Cloud Carry. Yang macam Harit masih boleh digunakan dekat golin. Tu golin Harit masih boleh. Freya, Cici masih boleh. Obsidia optional. Nathan optional. YSS optional. YSS bukan pick yang bagus tapi masih boleh digunakan YSS. Bukan pick yang terlampau bagus. Type S tidak guys. Dia A guys. Kalau pun Cloud Carry tu je. Bruno pun sama tu. Optional semua tu. Bruno tu lagi teruk. Saya silap dia rank B tu. Nathan pun susah guys nak pakai Nathan. Sebab tempo permainan and pergerakannya and cara dia surviving tu susah guys. Bruno, Nathan. Tu sekarang fun fact kalau kau nak tahu, sekarang meta ni susah. Meta marksman. Marksman tak banyak pilihan tu.
Plus of course very fast rotations. Like Khalid and Farsa together, they have a strong backline. It'll be Baksha, Lapu, Khalid holding the front.
Lagi-lagi pula kalau enemy ada Uranus, ada Freya kan. Aku tanya kau, EXP Uranus, Golin Freya, kau rasa marksman apa sesuai? Kau bagi aku satu marksman.
Did they just end up picking up a Yuzhong or a Blue's gone. Alice, either Yuzhong or Alice maybe?
Paling pun apa? Cloud, Carry, betul. Cuba kalau Cloud dengan Carry tu dah tak ada. Band keempat, band kelima dah kena ban. Kena ambil apa? YSS, kena bantai. Granger, kena bantai. Apa? Lunok, kena bantai. Apa lagi? Paling pun kau boleh letak kat golin Harit. Itu je duk. Tak pun kalau kau berani main risiko, kau main Obsidia. Kalau kau berani risiko untuk kau main dekat fasa mid game, late game, Obsidia. Moskop pun risky pick. Sebab bukan senang untuk lawan Freya guys. Tahu Freya tu kalau dah mengamuk guys tu sampai target orang dia pergi tu. Oh, EXP tu Freya ni tu. What a thinking man. EXP Freya guys. EXP je itu rank. Kita cerita pasal tournament guys, tournament. Faham tak tournament? Betapa fleksibelnya hero tournament. Kau kena cari hero yang betul-betul fleksibel and suit dengan meta kau. Tak banyak. Kalau kau main tournament nanti kau faham guys. Siapa kat sini yang rajin main tournament sampai main lawan dengan kuat-kuat kan? Lawan sampai nak masuk ML ke. Korang tahulah guys. Marksman apa je yang sesuai. Even kalau kau nak pakai Iritel pun susah tu Iritel. Confirm yang Onyx ni ya, Onyx menang ni 100% Onyx menang guys.
And they're going to go for it with that burst coming in from the Nolan, making it hard for Ryzen to actually walk on out of there. And that's going to be 2 kills going over the King Kong.
Halo adikku, jumpa mana? Mana-mana boleh mamak, Nabi duk Yen. Nabi bukan hero tournament yang bagus je lah.
The last analysis video I released and I talking to comments, I made a big point about how Omega needs to be ready for Onyx signature rotation. It's that huge obsession for the orange side golem. No matter what side they're in, they're gonna invade that. My question was, where was Perks? Why wasn't he there?
Oh no!
Oh, that's a big question. Ryzen now, though, getting really
Yeah, this one I
brutally
always
zoned out
like
of his
to
own
take the
jungle
side.
now.
That's
And again,
YENNete
Perks
for
on the
YENNete.
side, barely making it out alive himself.
These were the same rotations they did against AP Brent. And Omega looked like they weren't ready for that. Where is the homework that I thought that they would have?
Attack orange, attack purple, rinse and repeat till you're 2,000 gold up in 2 minutes.
Yeah, it feels bad if you're Ryzen right now, especially.
I wouldn't expect it. Again, as a boxer, I'm very gung-ho in facing off most early rotations, but the way Onyx doing it, they throw bodies at you.
Agresif Nolan.
Same here.
Ya,
Again,
Sendek
Perks
Nolan
even
kan
on the Khalid.
unik though.
Oh my goodness.
Real
King
though,
Kong
unik
right
though.
now feels like his burst is off the charts.
Yeah, there is no contest here for Omega, and they're gonna have to play a really long game to come back into this.
Oh my god, level 5.
Oh, ni menang ni.
Level 6
Serius.
in 2 minutes?
Is he racing for that record right now?
Oh no, right
Ryzen again!
Dean!
Oh my goodness, how are you gonna get out of there, man? They have full control. No ID, no entry here for Onyx.
2 minit 5 kill.
It has just all collapsed.
This
man.
got
Eh?
2 ways to
Nak buat apa
Sunday.
gila Omega
We
lauk
were making a
tu.
big point about it last week. The next teams that Onyx have, that Onyx are going to be facing, need to be prepared for this exact same rotation. And Perxiva missed the mark with the very first orange invade. He should have been much closer to Ryzen. Take the brunt of the damage and then peel away. If you go down, at least Ryzen doesn't lose his golem. And now, look, it's a 4-level gap between the Nolan and the Boxer. It's gonna hit 3 because Ryzen will still get a lot of EXP from that purple buff. But 3 levels at this point, 3 minutes in.
Brutal. All I can say, man.
The game is built to help the
Kalau Lucy dia menyampai kau jadi enemy. Lucy sedap lawan Basia gila. Basia tu tai-tai tu.
It looks like they'd be lucky to even cross the river or to
That's
think
right.
of doing so.
Even with all these catch-up mechanics in
Oh
place,
my
right?
God.
How can you even fight? Perks cannot even tank Super Prince, Brusco, and King Kong right now.
Look how single-handedly, single-minded Kirk is. His first item, golden staff.
He knows he has so much freedom. He's going
Yeah.
gung-ho.
Yeah, usually there's a corrosion scythe, but he just knows that he can afford to rush that right away. Brusco!
Another one, Tsunami Slam.
Nolan suyo Julian.
Dodges it at the
Liomot,
very
Liomot
last
guys, Liomot.
second.
Kalau
Perks
kau
with the
main
all
Liomot
good,
memang kena
but
agresif
again,
guys.
Where is your resources, Omega?
Yeah.
It's a very blank jungle for him.
Sebenarnya kalau Basia ni kan, sebenarnya kau kena agresif juga geng. Cuma kesilapan dekat sini kan, Omega ni yang tak kuat. Bukan hero dia tak kuat kan. Sebenarnya kalau kau tanya aku Basia tu sebenarnya hero dia bagus.
Netski forced to play back and Severo's
Netski,
winning.
mampus Netski.
Oh man, now what's Nesky gonna do? He's so starved at this point. Every single lane is winning. Now Omega said, you know what, we gotta do something. They're trying, they're going after that turtle. Airstrike by Mingwin, not enough to contest, but enough for Ryzen to get the retribution. And now they keep going. Kirk is still very gung-ho, making those swings. But that's a big win for Omega if I just ask me.
Mean Dean, 3 levels down, still got the turtle clean.
And now, Savero looking to punish Nesky.
Nesky with a 1v1, Severo level 7 right now.
Nice.
He's chasing, he is going. There goes those crits coming in for the Yisem chip.
The fact
Brusco
that
tahu Basia awal hero ayam.
fight Savero
Jangan ada
made
item
that
je.
passive on the Yisenshin worse. It's like, so you're gonna fight me, huh? Or let me get in range.
Ini masalahnya Omega ni sendiri dia. Ya, Omega ni sendiri tu. Omega ni sendiri yang ayam guys.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think he expected
Okay.
to match that. Oh, first! Mingwin
Itu ya,
taking a
no-
lot.
no-
And look how quick Super
not
Friends was
this one.
ready to hit with the skill 1 in the bush. If ever Mingwin flew a little bit too close to that, might have been actually a call for Super Friends to commit the flicker along with the lantern flare to try and carry the Farsa up to force out the Purify. Onyx are just playing at a different speed, a different level, but this is still 3,000 workable here.
Tapi
for
Omega ada King's
But the
Net.
thing is they're about to lose their gold lane. James has been
Sorry to say guys tapi net tu biasa je gila. Serius cakap tak tipu guys. Diorang macam diorang tak main secara pasukan gila kalau ni daripada minggu lepas tu main biasa je tu. Ambil Hanabi lah apalah macam tu juga mainnya. Diorang macam dah tak ada spark tu guys. Omega ni. Kau tengoklah cara diorang main guys.
I think he's overthinking the juice and damage, man. At that point, you go for something like an anti-cuirass first.
Or even just the Dreadnought armor, right?
Nek camat tu kat MPLMY je. Macam dia main macam tak ada spark.
Reduce the physical damage of your opponents just a little bit. They are skill based anyway. Kirk does
Kalau
have
memang
skill,
kena kacau
but
habis, guys.
all basic attacks coming out of the Freya. He will jump on you, and that will proc the Dreadnought armor.
Right, it is definitely a very impoverished. That's word of the week for me. Very impoverished Omega here, who feel like they're just getting everything they can. Luckily, though, they have access to their buff now.
But that's just a consolation prize to the rest of the map and the turtle. Started out by the super fam. Oh my god, flicker!
Oh, go straight into it. And no
Nice.
hesitation. It's a Vera moves up
Handsome.
very early, though. That's the big problem. It's still 4v5.
Omega.
And Omega!
Handsome.
They're actually going for it. They're finding the right targets. And they are going to be losing out on Perks and James.
Oh, the
PvP flicker wet super.
Gila, cuk.
Yes, up here. They're gonna
Bangkit.
follow that one.
Zusi ni macam gampang juga Zusi ni Menggigap juga tengok.
A monstrous flicker by Friends.
Saya ni kacau hyper ni macam mana?
To take a Netsky
Tu
down
Zusi
just
tu tu.
when it looked
Bangkit
good
tu.
for Omega.
There's nothing else to be said. Onyx are stepping on the gas. They take Horizon, and Kirk is punished.
That's what we're talking about right there. That radiant armor won't help you there, bro. But again, kept him alive long enough.
Boleh mau biasa boleh. Nak grand sangat nak buat apa siap. Tahulah dah gaji.
Brusco.
Perks is here. Of course.
Zusi kalau lawan dia lembab macam tu lagi sedap lagi Zusi guys. Tengok lawan siapa lawan dia Baksia. Lepas tu lapu-lapu. Lepas tu nya siapa ni?
Mingguin, can he make the shots hit? Not
Khalid,
really.
kayak
Not big
lembab-lembab,
enough to actually
guys.
defend, I think. But look at that.
Oh, kena campak.
He's the target. He's pretty low. Super Fins. You saw what he did earlier. He might do it again.
Gentlemen, can I say 8 minutes in? This is the least MPL Philippines game I've seen in a while.
What do you mean?
Yes, because here, actually studying Onyx ID's games,
Combo lah dengan Nolan.
except when they went up against BTR, BTR got to match that, eventually winning that series 2-1. Now it's Omega. They still can't match it just yet, but they might be able to if they get a bit more items.
Yeah, they're trying to do a bit of that flavor with Ryzen just walking on in there.
Yeah, there's too many kills for my taste. This is too violent.
Too violent.
I like the violence. It's my favorite string instrument.
All right.
So people are probably wondering how if Nolan's this dominant right now, how come we don't see him enough?
That's right.
Well, it's because wait, hold that thought.
Oh, that's a big fight. That is a big
Mamak je lah,
engagement.
mamak
They
mana-mana
commit
boleh.
so much
Kau
to
bagi
take
tahu
out
je mamak
Brusco.
mana, nanti aku
Gonna
sampai.
be alive for now, but here comes Onyx. They're the ones hitting back this time, and again, so hard to stop this.
Tata tengok MPLMY, jagi-jagi guys.
Brusco forced to flicker out of there, and Perxiva does not.
Mati
have
sudah tu
enough
Netski,
to
guys.
tank. There goes Ryzen. He actually takes out Brusco.
Uish.
You're stuck here with me, says
Uish.
Ryzen.
3v1 Ryzen run!
Uish,
He's gonna have to run.
uish,
And he
Uish.
is able to make it out. King Kong
Uish.
makes it, but doesn't make it in time. That's two down.
bapak gasak bay.
And to make that
Ini betul permainan yang kita nak tengok guys. Mati sudah Jimmy. Bye bye.
Oh my goodness! It's James over. As I was saying, this whole time.
Jimmy pula. James. Namanya James.
Down that inhibitor.
He got so much gold with all the time he was not there.
Mama ni apa nama tu?
Passive off the tower.
Dekat area rumah aku ni kan. Boleh.
Trying to zone for Netsky. Oh, Super Frizz. Oh!
Oh, that's good. Raging Sandstorm used.
Okay.
Kirk again, just an unstoppable force of nature on his own.
That's what they call in the business the law.
Omega dan sistem biar betul. Memang Omega ni tak sistem sebenarnya guys. Kalau kau nak tahu guys. Memang dia orang ni tak sistem guys.
Three of the kills of King Kong was
Daripada
actually
minggu lepas
one-sided.
jadi tak
That will
sistem.
help force my point. Nolan, it's because if he
Dia ambil
doesn't
plat
get that
next
early
guys.
snowball,
Sang.
you're either not gonna get the snowball at all, or he falls off really hard. But Oni got the perfect early game to set up the snowball
Murni
for
discovery
success.
eh.
That's why it works in this moment. And yes, it's actually a throwback to Baksha versus Nolan. Nolan clears just as fast as the Baksha, but before teams
Omega dan Team Flash sama menang. Omega menang lah. Team Flash tu terlampau dah sistem sangat.
Yeah, they started, they let him go, and now they are really suffering the consequences here. Now they're gonna try to go for it. They still have a Lord Wave, so they could do some decent damage, chunk out these turrets, but Omega, surprisingly, holding very steady. Already had to use the base defenses though.
10,000 gold up, Smart Omega.
Menang sudah ni tu. Sumpah menang sudah ni. Tak ada apa ni guys.
Five shadows. This should be easy pickings for them to defend since they have a Farsa, but Onyx are so far ahead that they can pull the same trick again. 4 fight, 1 clears, and that's what the angle they're going with. Look at this. They're threatening a Tsunami Slam.
I think they kind of baited it out. They baited out the Raging Sandstorm, and they're going to lose Ryzen for it.
Oh man, that feels bad. They tried, but Bruce still got the result he wanted.
Big knock up here, and that could be the clear.
Menang sudah ni. Ayam sangat. Nets.
Now up 12,000. They're on the base.
They're at the base. There's no one.
Savero dekat sini patut bantai tu Savero sumpah. Real tu Savero main dekat Filipin jago gila. Tak adalah tak adalah sampai jadi apa? Sampai jadi camat tu.
As a result,
Kau tengok dia main kat sini tak ada pun camat guys.
season 17.
Macam mana dekat Indo dia boleh jadi camat tu? Padahal dekat Filipin boleh je main, tak ada masalah pun, jago je. Apa yang dekat Indo sampai jadi camat tu? Tak faham aku guys. Okay, jom kita tengok ni. Okay, ni.
Continues. With momentum building towards a clash
Tengok tim dia, million pun dah spoofing.
sharpen their fangs. Never underestimating the prey
So,
before them.
maksudnya
The
dekat
Kingdom's Tigers are out for blood.
So maksudnya bukanlah Sabero yang noob. Maksudnya tim dia lah yang tak pandai main dengan dia. Betul tak? Tolonglah aku like tu. Aku like baru 3,000 je. Kau nak aku pakai baju. Aku pakai baju ni guys. Aku pakai baju ni kau like aku punya live banyak guys. Tolong aku like guys. 20,000 30,000 aku pakai baju ni. Okay. Camat tengok Onyx ID kan. Ya, dia camat dekat Onyx ID. Tak payah pakai baju confirm 100k. Sembang. Okay, let's go guys. Okay, let's go. Kita tengok. Kalau Vamos menang guys Ni cerita kalau guys Kalau Vamos menang.
Newly erected kingdom, eager to expand their reach. On the other, a
Kita
pit
tengok
of
vote, siapa banyak
vipers
vote.
eager to tear
Okay
down
guys,
the
kita dah ada
structure
vote
of
Tapi
their
vote kita tak banyak
foundation.
guys Kita ada
Which team
36
will be
je
able
orang
to
yang
claim
vote guys
victory today?
RRQ Tora
By the
orang
end
yang
of
vote
day
sebanyak
1 this
25
week,
orang
Vamos
vote
will be
RRQ
starting
Tora.
off with first pick.
Vamos orang yang vote kita ada 9 orang saja yang suka dekat Vamos. 9 orang je yang vote Vamos. RRQ Tora ada 25 orang duk vote. Gila. Macam gini kita tak boleh fight lagi dengan RRQ Tora kan. Minta maaf fan RRQ Tora Tapi game ni saya rasa RRQ Tora menang lah guys. Minta maaf guys Minta maaf fan Vamos dekat luar sana minta maaf Minta maaf fan Vamos tapi saya rasa RRQ menang lah ni. 2-1 RRQ menang 2-1 lah guys. Nak 2-1 ke 2-0 tu RRQ tu. Nak 2-0 ke 2-1 RRQ.
Whereas Error 404 is a little bit more microcentric, wants to get down and dirty with the team fights, but is also good at identifying opportunities.
And I think one of the players that definitely is still, you know, a bit out of
2-1 2-0
is worthy of bringing out
RRQ
now. I
tengah
think
dapat
it's
momentum.
Nero, right? 'Cause I feel
Baik.
like he
2-0 Viva RRQ. Okay. RRQ confirm RRQ RRQ jangan menyesal Okay.
we haven't really seen those
Nampaknya ramai yang sokong RRQ. Aku tak nak RRQ fans RRQ nangis lah guys sebenarnya guys. Tapi sebenarnya ini adalah ulangan tu sebenarnya guys. Sebenarnya Vamos dah menang gila 2-0. Tapi ini ulangan guys.
Ever since I started playing, I've never been considered the top choice for the best mid laner, but now I'm being compared to Stormy. The biggest growth for me has been my hero pool, and I hope I can surpass him soon. In the past, I lost to Claw Kun, but now I believe I'm better than him.
Really good confidence coming in from Kim, one of the louder mid laners that we have. In fact, probably the loudest, since this is typically a role for more reserved individuals. Kim has made
Yang dari masa lalu ke masa silam betul. Ini sebenarnya ulangan guys kalau korang nak tahu.
We saw him as someone with potential, but has never really been able to hit the peak of that until now with RRQ Tora.
He's one of the few players that is
Yang dia budak-budak rambut belah tengah ni tu.
across the seasons through thick and thin. Even
Okay guys, korang teka guys dekat RRQ Tora kan semua kan belah tengah kan. Korang teka siapa muka yang paling tak kena belah tengah guys. Teka cepat, siapa muka yang paling tak kena belah tengah.
Very good shot. I think this RQ Tora squad, when I first saw the roster reveal and I see Kim in it, I'm like, this could not have been a better pick. This feels like
Yen,
the team
Yen
that he
kepala
can
otak
gel well
kau.
with, and he has
Raf,
the to shower alongside.
salah.
So
Yang paling
that's
tak
a
kena
+1.
Kim tu.
Yep, it's great to see.
Muka
On the
dia memang
opposite
dapat
side,
Jawa
he mentioned
siap, guys.
Claw Kun, he lost to him once
Kalau belah
before,
tengah.
representing a different spectrum
Memang nampak
of
Jawa
mid laner.
teruk tu.
The more typical
Jawa
spectrum,
totok tu.
a little bit more quiet,
Memang
a little bit
pekat
more
ni Jawa
focused,
tu,
plays
mukanya.
for team,
Tak
provides
kena belah
support,
tengah tu.
utility and damage when necessary in
Dia
comparison
patut
to
biarkan
Kim,
rambut dia
who
panjang
is
kat belakang.
definitely a playmaker. He
Hero Pino
wants to
ke?
get in the
Cek hidup
action.
belah tengah.
He
Ha,
likes-
ya,
he
macam
likes the
hidup belah
spotlight
tengah macam
himself.
tu
In
guys.
fact, the brighter the spotlight, the more he feels in the zone. So I think the odds are definitely against Vamos, whether you are watching this at home or at the venue, and even at the venue.
Hidup Jawa
itself, The man, the civilians, the citizens of the
Saya paling tak
kingdom,
kena
I was
tu.
looking for the right word, I was like,
Kim
the
paling tak kena belah tengah guys.
the right
Tapi dah macam mana guys. Dah idola dia AJ guys AJ idola dia
I
guys
think a lot
So
of people
mestilah
are
belah
expecting
tengah
it to
juga.
be a 2-0, but I'm personally
Tapi kalau katanya aku secara peribadi tak kena tu.
excited to see if Vamos can draw
Asal
blood.
tak tengok MY
I
cow
think
takut kena
Vamos
ban.
has what it takes to surprise
Minta maaf
us.
guys
They
bukan aku tak nak
already
tengok
play
MY
against
tapi aku takut kena
the
ban.
bigger challenge in the league, you could argue SRG on week number 1, and while they weren't able to win, they showed some solid start to the new season, to the new era. While it's been a little bit up and down for them since then, I think Vamos has shown good foundations. They just gotta work on some small issues and prevent Vamos of all situations.
Asal kena ban aku tak tahu tu. Aku tak tahu, kau jangan tanya aku kenapa guys. Tapi aku always kena ban tu kalau tengok Malaysia punya. Tak tahu kenapa. Dia orang macam racist dengan aku lah guys. Maybe sebab muka aku macam Korea guys. So macam dia orang macam tak boleh kalau aku nobar bahasa Malaysia guys. Macam kena suspend tu.
Probably not the definition they would want
Kalau
to
bahasa Inggeris
have
tak kena ban.
when it's added.
Vamos about definition, throwing a big lead.
Maybe sebab muka aku lah guys aku rasa guys.
Well, today,
Ya,
the
sebab
plan
muka
for
aku guys.
Vamos is to change that definition. Is to say, we
Bukan pasal
can
muka kau
take
macam Jawa
down
mana kau tengok muka aku
bigger
Jawa ke?
threats.
Aku tanya kau. Kau
I
tengok
hope.
muka aku Jawa ke? Tak kan?
Important keyword, but I mean, I think the last time we look at Vamos as really the top contender was the last time they made an appearance in the grand finals, which was season 14 against SRG. And at that time, it went 6 games, right? They ended in a 4-2 spree, and it was the same roster that did it a season ago in season 13 when they were still with Homeboys. But after that, it really felt like Vamos
Macam kakak Sien. Dia macam Erosia tu yang kena English. Erosia tu apa tu?
Into their gameplay and putting a stop to their shenanigans. But
Menang apa
this season 17 Vamos gives you a bit of hope. Maybe a
Guys,
part of it is
kalau
because
Vamos
they
menang
are
game
more
pertama aku buka
adaptive,
baju
but
tu.
also because of some new faces. Without
Real.
further ado, we're gonna
Vamos
head into
menang
the
game pertama
game
aku
one,
buka
starting
baju.
with the map rotation.
So kau
Let's see what
doakan
it's
Vamos
going to
menang
be. Now I do agree with what you mentioned as well, that Vamos was kind of falling
Asia
into the
kasut
same old
Eropah.
patterns.
Oh, ya,
Being
ya,
a
betul,
story
betul.
team, they had a tendency to play for comfort and fall back to the same habits. So I'm really happy to see them bringing in new blood to kind of
Okay, dia dah ban
revitalize the
dia dah ban
lineup and approach things
ni
differently.
Penny betul.
It will indeed be
Cantik dah ban
expanding
Penny.
rivers for game 1, which
Dia
I
ban
am
Kalia,
very happy
Sora,
to see, since
Chow.
these are very active teams that will be able to use it.
Yep, and all the scrappers are being taken out. The best to the team's ability, right? No Kalea, Sora, and Joe. The Vamos clearly
Nak
showing
ban
a
apa
lot of
siap ni?
respects to the S tier picks of
Nak ban
RQ
Nero
Tora, who
Glue
has
ke?
been
Glue pun
absolutely
bawa menang juga tu.
killing
Vamos
it.
ni.
By the way, RQ Tora is
Dan tak kau lah kau nak ban apa? Ban tak penting, yang penting pick guys eh. Ban tak penting, yang penting pick guys.
Wait a minute. 0%?
Is that
Ah, tu ada Lusin tu. Lusin ada tu.
surely they've
Lusin ada,
surely
Gwyn
they've
ada.
given
Ah, nak mana dulu?
one
Lusin,
game
Gwyn.
on red side. I wonder if it's based on the series. I guess we can ask
Ah,
about
itu
that
dia.
later. They get rid of the glue though, which
Hmm,
makes
enemy
sense.
kat sini
Both of
Gwyn,
these
guys.
teams like playing that hero, and the Zeusin will be left open for Vamos.
Enemy kanan Gwyn, kanan Gwyn.
In the hands of Huakun.
Ah, kan itu kan.
It spawns the Zertian and the Guinevere.
Dekat sebelah kiri akan ambil Leomod atau Suyo. Leomod atau Suyo. Lepas tu
Zertian has one of the
Bolin banyak
most
lagi.
annoying level 1/2 pokes
Dia ambil
in the mid
EXP.
lane. So it certainly suits a player
EXP
like him.
ambil
If this Guinevere ends
ambil
up in the
Leomod
wrong
Suyo,
position, they can
EXP,
actually set up
Uranus.
very early
Tak
kills,
pun
though it can reflect in the
Yuzong.
jungle, as we all know.
Tak
So we
pun
have to keep our eyes out for that one.
ah tu dia.
Vamos going
Ah.
with the Uranus Suyo.
This is already shaping up to be a spicy matchup. Obviously, the Gwyn still is a flex choice.
Ni aku tak tahu guys.
Have that Zertian
Ni
which
maybe
can
dia nak ambil
follow up
jungle
with,
dulu.
with the Fury of the Phoenix as an extra layer of crowd
Itu
control.
hero flex.
On top of the
So
pickoff that they
maybe
already have
Gwyn
with
dia dah
the
boleh
But not only
dia
that,
dah boleh main
big tempo breaker
ya,
as
maybe dia
well.
boleh main jungle
This
atau
feels like
roam.
Marcel.
Maybe jungle maybe.
But then
Kan
Marcel
tu
is
ambil jungle lagi.
range.
Ooh, the
So
Harley
so
also
kita dah
gonna
nampak
make an
guys
appearance
roam
in the hands of
Roam,
Gary.
Gwyn,
We
jungle,
have a
Harley
fun
guys.
fact for you
Okay.
guys. Across every region, RRQ's MLBB's men's teams have
Team
been champions in their
Team
respective
Vamos
leagues,
tak ada
with
roam.
the
Boleh ban
exception
roam
of
dulu.
RRQ
Ban roam.
Tora
Roam dia orang tak ambil
for
lagi.
now.
Ban roam, ban roam,
This
ban
is
room,
their
ban
first
room. Tak
season.
kisah kau
And
nak ban apa
additional
kau
fun
ban
fact
room
on
dulu.
top of that,
Boleh kau ban
the
je roam.
RQ squad
Yang
that
ini
has
sibuk
the
pula lah hantar
roughest
PMTP
time
PMTP
in
PMTP.
recent history is RQ
Tak salah
Team.
kau ban room. Sebelah kiri tak ban room lagi. Tak ambil room lagi.
Team branch.
Pretty funny to think about.
Arashi, the
Sebelah
kingdom
kanan
is
tak ambil
Arashi.
EXP, tutup hero di ren.
To Malaysia.
Sebelah kanan tak ambil EXP lagi, tutup hero di ren. EXP tak ambil, golin tak ambil. Tutup hero di
You're
ren.
reaching across
Dia ren
the-
itu dia pakai
across
apa?
the regions here. Gonna
I'm trying, man.
Tu.
trying to pull
Cucuk
Arashi
cucuk.
into
Alot
the
alot
camera.
alot guys,
Yeah,
alot.
the Arashi
Tutup
is
alot.
grieving every single time Hoshi loses, so we might as well, you know, cheer
Why
him up
not,
a little
right?
bit, you know,
Come
why
over here, sir. You'll have a lot
Ui,
more
macam
time.
aku macam
You're
Okage
grieving
sial
about
guys.
Diamond, but he's here. He's alive and kicking.
Speaking of
Sebelah
Diamond,
kita
looks like
sebelah
they're
kiri
gonna
tak
ban
ambil
his
golin dengan
Marlon
roam.
as well. Lots of
Sama ada
teams
dia
have
nak
not
ban
really
room
been
ataupun dia
respecting
orang ban
this
golin. So
hero
dia akan
since
ban
it's
room
more of
ataupun
a
golin
pocket
guys.
pick than a
Aku tak
meta
tahu lah apa
option,
benda room
but
dia nak ban
they
ikut
are
dia orang guys.
trying
Tapi
to
dia akan
limit
ban
down on the EXP
dia akan
pool.
ban room ataupun golin. Sebab
There still
sebelah
leaves
sebelah kiri dia tak ambil room dengan golin lagi. Aku tak tahu dia nak ban apa. Dia akan ban Rozuki. Apa Rozuki guys? Khalid. Oh Khalid dia kena ban. Ciao. Win.
And there's just
Hilda.
enough for both teams to work. Well, at least for RQ Taurus, his hero
Hilda.
is
Kacau
running
Ali.
up on the
Apa
side
hero
of
boleh kacau
Vamos.
Ali kata?
This last man is going to be pretty important
Hilda.
because they need to consider one
Hilda.
game once and
Apa dia
build up
sebenarnya?
that to protect that Harley in the jungle.
Macam kau predict
Makes sense.
Kemon lah
They
bro.
They got rid of glue. May as well finish off the trifecta to make sure that
Ah,
Harley
sebelah
doesn't get
sebelah kanan
corrupted.
dia macam aku
Especially
cakap
since Gary
dia tak ada
doesn't often
EXP,
go for hyper
dia tak ada
active play in the
marksman.
first
So kat
couple
sebelah
levels.
kiri maybe dia akan
So
ban
make sure he's
marksman.
able to keep up in terms
Apa?
of rate of
Cloud,
farming.
Carry,
Vamos, what is going to be
Cloud
their
carry,
final ban?
Harit.
I think they've
Ah,
limited
ban
the
lah salah
EXP
satu.
pool
Cloud carry Harit.
enough at this point. So will they attack the gold lane?
They can actually. Maybe I think we want a quad
Ban salah satu, Cloud
right?
carry atau Harit.
Ban
Nah,
also
tu
makes
nampak
sense
tu
if
dia.
you
Dia
want
macam nak ban
Tyrannus
carry
to
guys.
really stick onto the
Ah,
targets
dia ban
and
carry
the
guys.
ban does come through. So it leaves us with the usual Cloud Ranger Harith. Wonder if we will see Nako on that Harith. That is assuming Rough gets his hand on the quad, but then again,
Dia akan ambil EXP dulu ke golin dulu guys. Tapi dia dah ban carry.
RQ Tora can grab it
Kalau
and
kalau dia nak di-ran buat game,
Claude is
selalunya
still one of the
last
safer
pick
options.
baru
Plus,
di-ran.
you leave
Last pick
Tyrant's
di-ran,
hero
guys.
until the
Kat sini
very
dia
end
boleh
to
ambil
make sure that
Cloud
he can counter
ataupun
whatever
Harit.
Xeno ends up
Kalau
with.
Harit, so dia nak ambil
So
mana?
I
Dia
do
nak ambil
think
Cloud ke
that's
Harit
the
sebab dia dah main
better
Hali.
choice. I don't think there's any
So, dia perlukan
EXP
satu
laners
lagi
that
damage
need to
dealer.
heavily prioritize
Cloud
at
atau
this
Harit?
point. Most of the big ones have been taken out.
Kalau Harit banyak sangat magic, Cloud.
I agree, I
100%.
think you go for Rough's hero. The quad,
Hero yang sangat fleksibel. Cloud.
Yep.
Freya kena ban, sayang Freya kena ban. Cloud.
has been eating good today.
Sebab apa? Sebab dia nak
And
tutup
it's
dulu
been
hero
benefiting
di-ran.
heavily
Di-ran dia tak nak tunjuk
from
lagi hero apa
many of
guys
the
nak pakai
recent
guys.
adjustments,
Di-ran.
especially with other marksmen being nerfed as well.
Di-ran kat
So
sini
Vamos
maybe dia boleh
still
pakai
needs
Esmeralda.
something. Harif is a possibility,
Kalau dia nak pakai
but
Esmeralda.
does fall off quite heavily in comparison.
Sebelah kiri tak ada pilihan tu. Harit.
Also need
Moskop,
to be
Obsidia.
worried about the Harley or the Guinevere jumping in out of nowhere.
Harit Moskop
So
Obsidia.
something that
Sebelah tu roam dia
grabs
tak
a
tahu apa.
Purify would be
Yang boleh
ideal.
counter engage. Counter engage apa geng?
Purify and mobility.
Kalian
Quad was
tutup.
the best option.
Gatot,
So the second
Hylos.
best is- I guess the Harith isn't too bad as long as I'm
Obsidia, Moskop, Gatot, Hylos,
Maybe the
Marcel.
It's a tough choice for Natko. Like his signature carry was banned by his own team since they were worried about that, so they will go for the
Tu kan,
Moskop
counter
and
engage.
the Gatot.
Wah, semua betul. Come on bro. Kan aku cakap banyak benda. Banyak aku cakap tu guys. Diren selalu main apa? EXP damage. Diren selalu main apa? Okay, aku tanya komen. Diren selalu main apa? Diren selalu main apa? Cepat guys. Main telur pula. Sora kena ban. Lapu. Okay lah. Vendetta
Yeah,
belum satu
and a very
global bang.
dive
Iya
heavy one from the side of RQ Tora. Dive heavy, but with
Lapu
really
lah.
well
Kalau
set
Bennett
up.
lembik
Right,
sangat
once
lah.
you
Dia
can
nak
see
kena ambil
go, you go.
tank
And it's very hard
ataupun
for
fighter
Vamos to just
tank.
stick around. You always
Dia nak ambil
need to
pure
be
tank boleh, ambil fighter tank
wary
boleh. Tapi
of
takkanlah dia main high loss.
the divine
Patah
light from
kaki
the
buat block
skies.
tu.
I mean, we've gotten a bit of insight into how Sasa manages the team.
Okay, start
especially
guys.
when they
Start. Kita tengok
lose
guys
their only loss.
Abang itu hero power
So,
defense. Tapi
you
nggak
can
bisa
imagine
ambil
Kage's
Bennett.
draft on the rest
Dia punya
of
draft
the
itu nggak bagus.
soldiers of
Dia kena ambil
Arctic
tank
Core. This
ataupun
definitely
fighter
feels like
tank.
a draft that Vamos is
Predict game
comfortable
mana
with, but a
menang.
lot of it hinges on
Aku tak
natural
suka
again.
Moskop tu sebenarnya.
Ooh, they've got 3 purifiers.
Sumpah doh,
taking
aku
a
sebenarnya
little
tak
bit
suka
of tech
Moskop
from
tu guys.
BTR
Real
early.
aku
Making
tak
it
suka
very
Moskop.
difficult for Super Yoshi, but
Aku
when
letak
it comes
RRQ
to
menang lah guys.
Kokoda,
Sebab
it
aku tak
is
suka
going to be
Moskop bro.
him leading the charge
Sebab aku
along
tak
the
suka Moskop.
kingdom.
Itu je doh.
Let's
Aku
see
tak
which
suka
of these two
Moskop
teams
bro.
will be
So aku
able to
letak
come out
RRQ
top
menang
and
guys.
jump into the land of Dawn for
Aku
game
rasa macam jelek tu
number
Moskop.
1 between Team Vamos and RRQ Tora.
Let the drums
Tapi
roll
dia ada
as the
gatok boleh
kingdom
counter engage.
rolls
Tapi takut-takut dia tak
onto the
sempat nak counter engage tu.
battlefield.
Dia dah kena dengan Gwyn guys.
Good thing about Zertian is that
Gwyn ni aku
against
takut nanti kan.
standard, usually
Dapat
a
orang terus
usual
burst.
dominant mid
Dapat
lane
terus
matchup,
burst, dapat terus
Zertian's
burst. Itu
weapon
problemnya tu.
can easily match that. But the impact is Gatot
Itu masalahnya kalau dapat Gatot terus burst, dapat Gatot terus burst. So kat sini Gatot first item dia mesti kena buat gradient guys. Kalau dia tak nak buat gradient dia buat separuh dulu guys. Separuh magic power pun okey dah. Magic defense.
Who managed to get that? Oh, actually it was error 404.
Ambil tu. Oi bagus tu error. Sumpah error bagus tu. Farming dia tu. Dia error. Mantap gila farming dia. Serius error bagus tu farming dia.
Super Yoshi trying to go in on Clocker.
Kalau tak
Doing
Moskop
good
apa?
poke damage, has to be careful not to be lifted up
Obsidia.
though.
Kalau tanya aku kalau tak Moskop Obsidia bagus. Tapi Obsidia a bit susah nak lawan dengan Harley. So pilihan dia tak banyak guys. Maybe Moskop yalah. Tak ada pilihan dah guys. Obsidia susah lawan Harley. Moskop paling senang lawan Harley tu.
Pretty much.
Takut dia orang kena
both
punish
teams
terus tu ni.
keeping good awareness of each other right now. As is expected, there's going to be a lot of poke around the mid lane. Wow, Clocker being
Sakit gila
dropped
itu.
low already.
Astagfirullahaladzim.
Good timing too. Turtle coming up in 20.
Yeah, Gary able to steal a camp away, so he's already ahead of Arrow 4-4 in terms of XP, and he's even going to get more off of this. And we'll give it to Dyron instead. The RQ Tora very much set up for the first turtle.
It's possible to
Purify
blitz
3
this,
biji,
giving
3
the
biji
EXP
purify,
grab to
enemy
Dyron
4
means that he
biji.
hits level 4 just a little
Hari
bit
kita
sooner
orang
than
4
Zeno.
biji.
Oh, here comes the Blade Surge into the Spatial Migration. No Violent Requiem yet, but the Deadly Magic dropping error 404 low, and First Blood going over to
Itu kan,
Dyron.
guys,
Revitalize will not save you,
Tolak sekejap,
nor
guys.
will it save Zkeev. 2 members down.
Aku pegang
That
RR
is
tu
one
guys
layer
ni
of
game
the
pertama
puzzle
guys.
that Vamos will need time to find an answer to.
Ooh, Zeno, you're playing a dangerous game. 1v4, you may be taking, but it's in. He gets the kill on Gary. Phoenix comes. Zeno with the triple kill.
Incredible
What
stuff
a
from Vamos.
thinking,
I
man!
honestly thought that was the end because RQ Tora had the tools for the fight.
Betul lah guys Uranus lah guys memang EXP terkuat gila Uranus. Memang EXP terkuat lagi Uranus guys.
Surprisingly enough, isn't too much of a bad news for RQ Tora because the goal primarily goes into a sandbag. But it is well needed for Team Vamos to at least give Zeno a bit more of that presence on the map.
Problem
Yeah,
is,
sorry, nak
the
tanya
richer the
something.
Uranus becomes, the
Yo,
more
nak tanya.
difficult it is to
God.
remove him from the game. And giving him kills early is going to have the highest value. Zeno already a bit of a threat at this stage.
He take the concussive blast? I think he did,
Sekejap
right?
guys.
I am not sure.
I'm inclined to believe he
Team.
took concussive blast. Because that was the extra oomph he needed to get the kill on the Gary before translating into more.
I thought it would be too risky actually for him to stay there, but
Yeah, same.
looks like he calculated it. And that was planned for sure.
Not to mention Claw Kun was able to get Crimson Beacon on time too, so the support system
Moskop dapat purple. Oh yeah.
1 hour.
Tu tengah reply chat tu.
Swallow Gary too, so no Gak attempts there.
Ni siapa yang mati sampai
It's a
2
good
ni guys?
start for now. Team Vamos
Gatot
just needs to
Suyo lah.
continue
Suyo
pushing
mati
it, and
ke?
they are quite good at
Suyo ni
playing
daripada
with
week
leads.
pertama
Ryoshi
lah guys.
gonna
Dia
get
punya heart
spotted
rate dia
in.
memang macam gitu
Goes
lah
in
heart rate
for
dia
the
guys.
Violent Requiem into the Blazing Blue and error 404
Tak payah tak payah bagi Moskop, tak payah bagi
is
Moskop.
no longer found.
Dah bingai lah error. Macam mana kau boleh mati sampai 2 tu? Kalau kau ambil Leomok tu dia betul lah tadi. Kau nak juga Suyo.
What they have. So every single time the Guinevere jumps onto someone, the Deadly Magic connects, all Kim has to do is to press that out and your fight is literally over. And Ruff is the one who picked up that kill.
Orang
So
full
Arrow
farm.
4-4
Tak apa,
gotta go
orang
back
okey
into
je.
damage control mode because he is now 0 and 2.
Another impressive performance from Super Yoshi. The typical response in that
Ni Moskow
situation
kalau
would
pandai main
just be
sedap
to
ni,
jump
guys.
away to escape, but no.
Ni sebab dia tengah
Actually
sedap ni
spotted
Moskow
out
ni, guys.
error 404 and connected it perfectly, believing that the team would have his back.
And that was without Dyron in the fight. So far, it has just been the 4 members, barring the XP laners from RQ Tora, but now he will join in as well.
Kena flicker je gini kan. Error
Vamo still
error
has
ni, guys.
1k gold lead. They have control. Dyron jumps in, trying to stun. Super Yoshi misses the violent.
Whoosh!
Error 404 secures the turtle. That means that Super Yoshi is going to be sacrificed there. And Dyron might not be so lucky.
Biren!
Surrounded by 4, tries to flicker out. Gets a
Woo!
lead.
Okay guys, Vamos menang, Vamos menang, Vamos menang. Diam, Vamos menang guys.
Ruff should be able to get away, not a problem there, but they freed up the bottom lane and
Diam,
the
Vamos
speed
menang
and
guys,
Nano gets
2-0
free
guys.
reign over the turret as RQ Tora
Squad
calls
buka
in
lagi main
reinforcement,
X-Motor,
trying to
cakap aku.
protect the structure. They even expend the blazing duet to make it happen. They really don't want to lose this.
And I can see why
Name the
they've already
fighter ni, guys.
lost some of their early game leads. Zeke trying to look for it. No, Ruff should be
Ada
okay
fighter
here
ni duk
for
Moskow ni
now.
aku rasa.
Vamo is
Ada
looking
punya
pretty
emblem tak guys?
strong.
I mean, Zeno
Tapi
was
emblem
filling up
lah,
the
guys.
fight as well, was a big contributor. RQ Tora couldn't get in at all with a Uranus sitting in front of the damage dealers. And it was pretty unfortunate.
Mereka kata
because
baru
Dyron
menang.
who sent it
Kenapa
was
bahasa
Super Yoshi.
Inggeris? Sebab takut kena
Without
ban.
him being able to participate, Vamos just easily isolates the fight to get that win.
It's clear that Error 404 had his eye on the Guinevere that fight specifically.
Ay, Gary.
Perfectly eye-framed the way
Sakiti
from the
ke Gary,
spatial
guys?
migration. Probably after the previous pick-off. And without that,
Gary
RQ Tora
tersakiti
was
gila,
not
Gary.
able to take the fight on their
Tak boleh farm tu
terms.
Gary.
We're looking at a 3k lead in 6 minutes, a very sizable advantage for Vamos.
That is a Vamos comfort zone as well. And because of these chains of events, Aero 4-4 is now ahead in experience despite the slow start. In the top tier 1, okay, I thought Zeno would just commit for it,
Oi.
but no rush.
Bahaya sih.
Ruff is a little far out
Eh
here,
tapi
has to be careful.
Cloud pakai flicker tu.
Error and
Cloud
Zeke
pakai
right
flicker
nearby.
Moskow boleh lawan guys.
Probably spot the
Real
Zeno, back
tak
it
tipu
up
guys.
for now.
Cloud kalau
Zeno
pakai
doing
flicker
a
Moskow
great
boleh lawan
job
guys.
of split pushing on this Uranus. So it looks like there's a big ambush being set up.
He has a Purify
Hmm,
and
itu
they
kan.
lose Ruff.
Kalau Cloud tu pakai Purify, Moskow tak boleh lawan. Aku sebagai user Moskow aku tahu guys Kalau dia pakai flicker boleh lawan. Kalau dia pakai Purify kan susah nak lawan dia guys.
Gang Zeno, but realizes that as long as Purify is online, there's no way they kill him.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Dyron gonna jump in on the mid tower to prevent it being taken out. Lifted up with the lantern. Is able to clear the minion wave, but Zeno
Mati
just
Dyron.
hits tower anyway. And now Dyron might be in some trouble as the dash
lama
out of the
betul
way.
kat sana,
Meanwhile, Gary trying to get close to the turtle, but gets taunted
Eh,
away.
Zeno.
Him chased down by Zeno, who is very close to death. Error secures the turtle. Gary gonna get lifted up here. No, just barely escaped.
Tokun almost solo Gary. This is unexpected, and I'm
Yeah.
impressed. I'm very, very impressed. Vamos sitting at a 6k goal lead.
Baik tu Uranus tu. Jadi Uranus kena ban ni guys. Kau tunggu je lah guys. Next game. Uranus kena ban 100%. Aku yakin guys. Macam mana kau begitu yakin bangin? Just feeling guys, just feeling. Uranus akan kena ban.
Probably the biggest early game lead any team has had against RRQ so far. Not the first
Siapa nak
time
bos
for
Uranus?
Vamos
Siapa
to
bapak
be
ah?
this far ahead.
Cloud lah.
And we've
Paling
already
pun
pointed
Cloud tu
out
boleh.
there is
Bos
a
Uranus.
tendency for this team to maybe throw leads. So next
Ada
goal
ki
is
Jen
going to be
sekarang.
have they
Ni
fixed
tak
that
perform
issue.
dia cakap. Jen sekarang.
Kid is man, he really wants to hold on to his flicker,
Ui.
but Zeno forces it out. Top tier 2 also goes down. The Moscow siege continues, and Dyron has his hands full.
Sabar. Vamos. Sabar. Kau bukan Team Flash.
The formation
Team
of
Flash
Arctic
dia
Tora
yang buat
is
benda-benda
broken
bingai
away.
macam tu. Okay, kau relax. Kau main objektif sikit. Okay, ambil third lord. Kau jangan push tiba-tiba ambil lord. Okay, santai-santai.
And they don't have enough
Team-
damage
Team
to burst
Flash
them
saja
down
yang main
now, and
bingai.
Team Vamos
Kau
is
relax.
taking full advantage of that. They've already broken 2 holy defenses before the 9-minute mark, which is incredibly early, especially against an undefeated squad so far. And they close it out. It's possible. Let's keep our eyes open.
Ketua buat mana hari ni? Vamos lah. Tengoklah caption guys. Tengok caption.
But
Tengok
right now, we
caption.
need them to Vamosen.
Tak tahulah kalau kalah guys. Kalau kalah kita padam caption tu
With this
guys.
lore, they will be able to cement that game to an almost sure win.
Airport 404 Islam ke? Tak. Kau tak silap aku Cina.
Forehand, Ruff is very far away, and then just do this, right? Force him
Kau
away.
tak silap aku kan?
On top
Oh,
of
kau
Gary and Dyron is
hilang
my
kepala
goodness.
Diren.
gone.
Hilang kepala dia ni, hilang.
Disintegrated in an instant.
He has a Dom Ice. What happened?
And he was surrounded by
Yang
4
seorang tak habis
people.
PN. Tak, esok
who
pagi
are
guys.
8K
Macam biasa
goal
kita akan
ahead.
stream pukul
Ay, ay, ay.
7. 7 ke 8 pagi je tu lah. Buddha. Oh yeah.
Well,
Kau tak silap aku dia
it's
bukan
not
Islam
Ebola
guys.
anymore.
Tak silap aku dia
Maybe we
Cina
asked
kan.
Arashi to come
Tak,
over too
tak ingat
soon.
lah.
Yeah,
Dia bukan Melayu lah
That's on
semesta.
Yeah, I think so.
My bad.
Hold on, Arashi. Push back your plane ticket a little bit.
Might be as sad as the stand in Indo. To be fair, if anything, this would be
Ada
the
aku
first
check guys
loss.
je. Aku check kan. Aku
Still
pun
to
rasa
say though.
curious juga tu. Kita tengok error 404.
Super Yoshi, he's waiting. He sees error. He goes in. Violet Requiem on top of the Suyo. Gary is here. Tries to set up deadly magic. Not able to finish him off. AOG protects his jungler. Lord has already crashed through the bottom inhibitor. But Arcutora has bought enough time with that play to make sure it doesn't collide with the crystal. They want to try and prevent as much structural damage now as possible. But look at Zeki. He just needs to stand in front. Zeno as well.
Paper
These
tu
two
Dennis
bulky
Taki
tanks, too
Abdul.
difficult to
Guys,
control.
dia Melayu
Being
gila.
worked on by Nako.
Astaghfirullahaladzim,
Him trying to
kenapa
focus
aku cakap dia
the
Cina
damage
siap?
coming in from
Bapak
Air
dia lagi
4,
berdosa
even just
gila.
with the snipe, the tower will go down, and they're not able to take any
Berdosa aku gila.
Then
Astaghfirullahaladzim
with back to
Yen.
Well,
Tapi
alive
siapa
for
yang
the
budak
Uranus.
Melaka yang
And
yang
that
dia orang
was
cakap
the
Cina tu?
best chance that they got to kill Arrow 404, but he is in the immortal form.
Yang dia orang
so
cakap Cina budak Melaka
not
tu
that it
guys.
mattered, right? Because it was
Siapa lah?
primarily magic damage, but he was just too far ahead.
Kenapa salah orang eh?
A 10k goal lead. You would have thought of this as a possibility, not against
Valen kot.
Arcutora,
Bukan,
yet
dia ada
here
Cina
we
budak
are.
Melaka guys.
Next
Siapa
door,
eh?
80 seconds away, but
Orang lain
it
lah?
was a sure win for Vamos unless
Dia dibesarkan
Arcutora
oleh
can
Cina.
close up.
Dibesarkan oleh Cina. Oh!
Out of this world engaged, and he has to start with Super Yoshi getting more than just one person in a
Oh, dia
fight
bin
with him.
Abdullah lah duk. Abdullah
then
maksudnya
Yodi,
dia betul memang
A five-man
Cina
plays
lah
a
guys.
duet, a
Tapi
three-man
dia
plays match,
mualaf.
and maybe Natco's phone disconnects.
Bin Abdullah.
Remember, 3 members of Vamos have purified too.
Yeah.
So even if somehow Super
Dia lah
Yoshi
duk, aku rasa tu.
man,
Aku tak ingat lah guys.
3 of them can just
Tak silap aku
walk out of it.
masa aku KGE dulu guys. Masa aku KGE dulu aku ada dengar kabar yang
10k
yang
lead
dia
is
nak
usually
masuk.
the range where a game is
Oh
considered
kau
over,
memang hilang
and it's
kepala
gonna
bang
be
member
even
ni.
more
Ui.
over with a nice
Suruh!
taunt.
Tombak suruh!
Oh, sorry,
Cetas!
no way,
Cetas!
no
Kau
way,
pergi!
no way.
Kau pergi! Ai.
RQ is already there to protect.
Oh boy.
Dia tak nak pergi lah guys.
I would have taken that.
Kalau aku jadi kalau aku pergi tu. Real kalau aku pergi tu.
That would be
Real.
a
Kalau aku
Vamos
pergi tu.
solo play for
Kalau
sure.
aku lah. Kalau
If
aku.
you get
Kalau
inspired,
aku.
Think about it.
It would be very inspiring to
Jadi
show
benar
your
buat item
lead
tank.
like that.
Sebab dia tulis survive hilang.
Loleo in
Not
two
these
seasons
days,
Early game
man.
tak
Yeah,
dapat.
2 seasons
Tak dapat
ago.
nak snowball.
He would have done it. Oh boy.
Gary in a bit of a bad
Kau
spot,
bingai,
but
Yen.
okay, because the rest of Vamos is already set up for
Sebab tu aku
the
tak boleh masuk
Lord.
MPLMY. Betul lah guys. Aku rasa macam tu lah dia.
Vamos have been doing a very good job so far.
Masuk tu,
As long
lepas tu
as they
Gatot
keep
tembak
pushing this
lompat.
lead and the game before Ruff can get
Tak
scaled
tahu
up,
lah.
this game
Lepas tu
should
tanya aku tak
go
boleh
to
masuk.
them.
I think
Tapi
a
dia
lot
ada
of
purified
preparation
tu. So
also
dia
came
boleh
from
masuk.
the
Jauh
drafting
siapa
phase
boleh boost
where
dia duk kat
they were
sini duk.
eliminating key components of what made Arcutora click in a lot of their previous games, right? Big setup from Dyrens, big setup from Super Yoshi. And
Ya, ada
easy
darah
and reliable
flash.
ones as well, like Cho.
Woi, okey. Minta maaf. Kata aku lupa ini tim Vamos kan, bukan tim Clash. Kata tim Vamos. Okey, tim Clash dengan Vamos lain. Okey. Apa salah Hali macam tak ada damage ya. Aku
Definitely
tengok
seems
kalau
like Team
MPL
Vamos
Philippines
has
main Hali
put in
berdamage
a
ya.
lot of preparation for this match in particular. Zeno literally taking no damage there from the main DPS.
Kenapa dia orang main macam tak ada damage tu?
Pushing up top lane.
Arcutora ni.
Powder and Oracles.
Tak belum jumpa SRG lagi takkan nak kalah.
There's no way to take him
Come
down.
on, come back Arcutora.
Could this
Belum
be
jumpa
it?
SRG
Could
lagi
this
tu.
be Vamos taking a game off the Kingdom who has been untouched? All the inhibitors are gone. Lord is crashing in. Dyrant jumps in. Doesn't really do much damage. They get the taunt of Super Yoshi too to cancel his setup. Here comes the Blazing Duet, but it's missing everyone. It's just not doing any damage at all. Vamos! They have done it a clean snowball right from the very beginning. Not giving any opportunity to Arcutora.
Oh, that was a shocking opener. A shocking but a refreshing one. Just clean gameplay
King Vamos.
from a draft that I honestly
Apa
felt
guys?
like
King
was
Vamos.
the
Ni nanti kau tengok next game.
biggest difference
Kau pegang
maker.
kata-kata kau Kim.
Started
Mana
at
Kim?
minute 2.
Ketos. Kau pegang kata-kata
Triple
kau
kill on
Ketos.
the Uranus.
Kau pegang kata-kata ketok lah. Next game Uranus kena ban. Real. Uranus kena ban next game. Kalau dia tak ban, akan diambil. Boleh pilih. Sama ada kau nak ban, kau nak ambil. Kenapa tak ban? Ban apa tu? Kalian apa tu rap? King vamos! King vamos guys, King vamos. Siap, King vamos. Kau yang berapa confirm Uranus ban. Itu salah. Mana tadi je? Pak Ali. Dia nak main Meta Ali. Aku ulang balik guys. Okay, ini MVP dekat game ni. Okay, MVP game ni Zeno MVP game ni guys. Zeno MVP game ni guys. Okay, kita ulas sedikit lah guys pasal draft kan. Ali tank gila. Ya. Sebab dia tak boleh apa. Okay guys. Sebenarnya okay, kalau kau tanya aku dia nak bawa Meta Ali guys Dia sebenarnya nak bawa Meta Ali. Tapi kalau kau tanya aku, kalau dia nak bawa Meta Ali, better kasi main YSS tu. So kau boleh open map guys. Faham? So Ali tu boleh selamat. So kat sini better YSS. Nak main Meta Ali. Sebab Ali boleh open map. Faham? Lepas tu Uranus kat sini boleh ambil match up yang maybe boleh letak Ilos. Boleh letak Ilos. Patut bawa meta Alot kena ban sayang. Ilos, patut letak Ilos. Dia kena letak satu yang betul-betul tebal guys. Faham? Sebab dekat sini hero dia dah begini. Hero macam gini guys Hero macam ni sebenarnya dia orang kena snowball. Sekejap, aku tunjuk. Okay, hero macam ni guys sebenarnya dia orang kena snowball. Ni hero macam ni sebenarnya dia orang kena snowball 4 biji ni guys. 4 biji ni dia orang kena snowball. Turtle pertama kena dapat, turtle kedua kena dapat guys. Bau sedap. Tapi kalau kau tak dapat jadi pisang guys. Real. Serious. Tadi dia orang silap dia orang kat mana guys? Dia orang tak snowball. Silap dia orang tadi dekat turtle pertama dia orang mati 3. Dekat situlah start silapnya. Hello CXP tak kisahlah. Yang penting keras-keras ke EXP ambil glue dah kena ban guys. Kalau dia nak amankan turtle pertama, aku rasa better Yuzong. Faham tak? Daripada kau ambil lapu Yuzong, better lagi Yuzong. Lapu Yuzong better Yuzong. Yuzong boleh open, Yuzong boleh initiate, Yuzong boleh semua guys. Dia boleh counternya si Zuxin, boleh pergi dekat Moskop terus. Boleh lawan Gatok, boleh lawan Suyo, tak masalah. Boleh lawan Uranus juga dekat limit phase. Better Yuzong sebenarnya. Kalau dia ambil lapu, bagi aku lapu tak bagus tu. Dia orang kena menang turtle pertama kedua guys kalau dia nak snowball. Sebab ini draft snowball ni tu. Kan tadi aku cakap tadi, dia orang boleh ambil Yuzong. Ini turtle pertama ke kedua. Silapnya kat turtle pertama tadi. Sebab kalau kau tanya aku kat sini kan, draft dia orang biasa je tu. Draft dia orang tak ada pun like macam terlampau strong ke apa, tidak guys. Biasa aja draft dia orang. Biasa-biasa sangat. Tak ada lah nampak terlampau strong sangat early game. Early game dia biasa. Korang still, yang diorang ni still boleh menang turtle pertama. Senang je kan. Guinevere just ambil error 4-4. Halibus, settle. Guinevere ambil, Halibus. Tak pun Guinevere ambil, Zeten ulti, settle. Sebenarnya diorang punya draft tak kuat guys. Semua early game diorang tak cantik. Kalau Moskop tu strong Moskop tu bukan early game. Bukan turtle pertama turtle kedua. Moskop tu lot pertama. Lot pertama minit ke-8. Itu baru function tu Moskop. Itu pun kalau Moskop dah 3 item guys. Kalau tak cukup 3 item, lot pertama pisang. Power spike Moskop dengan Cloud kuat lagi Cloud guys. 1 item kuat lagi Cloud, 2 item kuat lagi Cloud, 3 item kuat lagi Cloud guys. Dia silap tadi kat turtle pertama mana Aku tunjuk turtle pertama. Okay, kita tengok ni guys. Sini kot. Guys, sini kita tengok. Okay, ini dah betul tadi. Okay, ini dah betul. Okay, ni dah baik ni guys. Dah baik ni. Dekat sini turtle tak dapat, mati 3. Kau bayangkan 1 lawan 4 guys. 1 lawan 4, turtle dapat mati 3. Nampak? Ini 1 lawan 4, turtle tak dapat mati 3. Suruh pergi.
Incredible
Lepas
stuff
tu
from
yang dapat siapa?
Vamos.
Yang
I
dapat Team Vamos.
honestly
Dah betul tadi
thought
tu.
that that was the
Dekat turtle
end
pertama
because
tu
RQ
mistake.
Tora
So
had
daripada
the
turtle
boost for the
pertama
fight,
tu lah yang
but
bawa
they did not have
Ali
enough
ni tak boleh
to
nak burst
go
orang
to
guys.
Xeno's Hellfire
Yang buat
after
Ali ni jadi
expending
tank.
the
Elok dia
deadly
nak main
magic
damage
in
tu
the
dah betul lah
mid
tu.
lane.
Tiba-tiba jadi tank
Triple
pula
kill
Ali
for the
ni.
Uranus. Surprisingly enough,
4 lawan 2 cuma 4 lawan 2 lah.
much of a
Mula-mula
advantage
tadi
for
1
RQ
lawan
Tora
4.
as
Lepas
the
tu 4 lawan
goal
2.
primarily goes into a sandbag.
Aku faham je kalau
It
dia orang
is
cakap
well
habis power
needed for
fight.
Team
Nampak?
Vamos
Buff
to
kena
at
rembat
least
lagi.
give
Betul-betul
Xeno a
luck
bit
tu
more of
Team
their
Vamos
presence on
ni.
the map.
Luck dia orang
Problem
kuat
is
gila dapat buff lagi.
richer the
Babi
Uranus
kena rembat.
becomes, the more difficult it is to remove him
Tengok
from
balik
the
tu
game.
punca. Snowball tu.
Giving him kills early is
Primarily goes into a
Mana?
pools for the fight.
15 saat. 20 saat.
maybe tanky
Will need
Ni guys.
save you, nor will it save ZQ.
Nampak?
2 members down.
Ni.
that is one layer of
Ni
the
tepat-tepat pula lagi kalau aku ada level 4. Tepat-tepat kalau aku ada level 4 guys.
will need
Nampak ni? Ini kan mulakan 1 lawan 4. Nampak tu 1 lawan 4.
time to
Kalau aku
find an
datang.
answer to.
Uzino, you're playing a dangerous game, 1v4.
Oh
You
ni
may be
pak.
tanky,
Kalau aku
but
tu
it's
tepat
enough.
ada
He
uki.
gets the
Sumpah
kill
memang
on
rezeki dan
Gary.
rezeki
Beauty
nak
Phoenix
soleh.
comes
Luck
through
gila
on
tu
the
sumpah.
left. Zeno with the
Itu
triple
memang rezeki
kill.
nak soleh tu tiba-tiba.
Incredible stuff from Vamos.
Itu lagi
I
bau tebuk
honestly
asuhan.
thought that was
Itu
the
yang
end because
bagi
RQ
menang
Tora
ke.
had the pools for the fight,
Mantap
but they
gila
did
Team
not have
Vamos.
enough to go to Xeno's Hellfire after expending the deadly magic in the mid lane. A triple kill for the Uranus. Surprisingly enough,
Dia orang kena menang senang je ke. Dia orang menang turtle pertama je okey sudah ni sebenarnya. Dia orang menang turtle pertama, turtle kedua settle. Buff pula kena rembat pisang member.
for Team Vamos to at least give Xeno a bit more of that presence on the map.
Problem is,
Menang
the
turtle pertama,
richer
turtle
the
kedua.
Uranus
Okey,
becomes,
kata.
the more difficult it is to remove him from the game, and giving him kills early is going to have the highest value. Zeno already a bit of a threat at this stage.
He take the concussive blast? I think he did, right?
Draft next patut ambil roam tank lah kan. Tak.
Fine to believe he took concussive blast.
Kalau kau tanya saya, kau tak boleh salahkan draft guys. Korang salahkan mistake yang dibuat tadi early game. Itu saja. Draft bagi saya okey, tak ada masalah. Kalau dia nak tukar,
I
kalau
thought
dia
it
nak
would be
tukar
too
pun
risky actually for him to
paling-paling
stay
kau
there, but
YSS dengan Cloud.
looks like he calculated
Ni
it.
Cloud ni
And that was planned
tukar
for
YSS.
sure.
Kalau dia nak tukar, kalau betul-betul dia nak tukar YSS tukar Cloud. Cloud tukar YSS. Bukan draft, draft okey guys, tak ada masalah pun. Mistake tadi tu je. Turtle pertama tu.
It's a good start for now. Team Vamos just needs to
Draftnya okey,
continue
tak ada
pushing
masalah
it.
guys.
They are
Sebab
quite
draft Team
good
Vamos
at
tak kuat
playing
mana
with
pun.
lead. Tsuruyoshi
Biasa
gonna
je
get
dia draft
locked
dia.
in. Goes in for the violent recruitment to the blazing duet.
Nampak mana
And
kuat ni draft ni. Draft
is
Team
no
Vamos nampak tu.
longer found.
Senang je kan kena punish kan.
They need to remember one thing. The AoEs, the
Kat
setup
sini
of
yang
RQ Tora
yang
is
buat
so
kacau ni
much
tadi
easier
hype
compared
ni
to
punya ni Uranus.
what they have.
Uranus
So
yang
every
buat kacau.
single time the Guinevere jumps on
Uranus
the
sebab
side
dah
with
jadi
deadly
pula
magic
game early
connect,
game dah dapat
all
rezeki
Kim has to
memang
do is
pisang.
suppress that ult and your fight is literally over.
Game boleh menangkan.
And
Ya,
Vamos
kalau
wants
ikut
to
late
pick
game
up
boleh
the
menang.
kill, so Arrow
Ni
Force
RQ
gotta
Tora.
go back into damage control mode
Tapi
in
susah juga.
0 and 2.
Susah juga sebab
Another
apa?
impressive
Sebab
performance
member ni
from
ada
Tsuruyoshi.
mousepop. Kalau
Typical
late game
response in
faham-faham
that
lah
situation
mousepop tu
would
macam
just
mana
be to
guys.
jump away to escape, but no. Actually
Kalau dia nak main
spotted
late
out
game
Arrow
betul-betul late game kan.
404,
Okay,
connected
itu
it perfectly,
Ali kena
believing
buat
that the
damage.
team would have his back.
Dia orang just buat je
And that was
macam-macam.
without
Ali buat
Direct
damage
in the
tak payah
fight.
buat tank. Kalau dia orang nak main late game
It
boleh
has
menang.
just been the 4 members
Kalau Ali tu buat tank
executing
tak value tu.
Tora, but now he will join in as well as second turtle fight.
Vamos still has a 1k gold lead. They have control. Dyren jumps in, trying to stun. Tsuruyoshi
Pak,
misses the violent
aku
requiem.
retribution
Arrow 4
wak.
secures the turtle.
Turtle
That means
kedua tak
Tsuruyoshi
dapat.
is gonna be
Turtle
sacrificed
kedua tak
here.
dapat.
And
Kau tengok yang
Dyren
belakang tu siapa
might
duduk
not
guys.
be so
Uranus
lucky
duduk
either.
kat belakang.
Surrounded
Kau
by
rasa?
4, tries to flicker out. Gets lifted back. Flockhood secures the kill.
Crimson Beacon
Kan
at the
pisang
very end.
tu.
EOG to catch Ruff. Ruff should be able to get away, not a problem there, but they freed up the
Ambil
bottom lane.
Zuliki,
And
Ali
this means that
pergi
Natco
Zuliki.
gets
Siapa nak
free reign
push?
over the turret as RQ Tora calls in reinforcement to try
Ali
to
tu
protect
boleh,
the
guys.
structure. They even expect the blazing duet to make it happen.
On the
They
way to you,
really
brother.
don't wanna
Okay,
lose
okay, okay.
this.
And I can
Aduh,
see
barang nak
why
sampai
they've
lagi
already
barang,
lost
guys.
some of their early game leads. Ziki,
Okay, Brad.
no, Ruff should be
Okay,
okay here for
Brad.
now. Vamo is looking pretty strong.
I mean,
Santai.
Xeno was filling up the fight as well. Was a
Aduh,
big
barang nak
contributor.
sampai lah guys.
RQ Tora couldn't get
Dalam
in
mu.
at all with a Uranus sitting in front of the damage
Ali tu
dealers.
bukan utility guys. Ali
And,
tu
it was
burst
pretty
guys.
unfortunate
Cuma dia
because
tak ada
Dyren
damage. Itu je.
full-sended with Super Yoshi, but without Kim being able to participate, Vamos just
Okay guys,
easily
Ali tu bukan
isolates the
utility.
fight to get that
Utility
win.
ni hero support
clear
je.
that
Hero
Arrow
yang
404
bagi
had
korang
his eye
hidup
on
lama,
Guinevere
bagi
that
korang
fight
nyawa,
specifically. He perfectly
bagi korang
eye-bricked
moment
away from
speed,
the
bagi
spatial
korang shield lah.
vibration,
Itu utility guys.
probably after the previous pick-off. And without that, RQ Tora was not able to take the fight on their terms. We're looking at a 3k lead in 6 minutes, a very sizable advantage for Vamos.
Yeah, it's a Vamos comfort zone as well.
Bagi event tak esok tu tak pergi lah, malas ah. Event apa ah?
4-4 is not
MPL
a
eh?
bad
Tak.
experience despite the slow start.
Maybe aku nak pergi ni lah geng,
Tier
anime
one,
fest. Ada tiket tak guys? Anime
Okay, I
fest.
thought Zeno would just commit
Aku nak
for
pergi
it,
tengok
but
anime
no
lah
rush.
guys.
Ruff is a little far out here, has to be
Yang
careful.
satu Yen nak tanya. Okay,
Error
nak tanya
and
apa
Ziki
tu?
are nearby. He'll probably spot the
Let's
studio,
try my
back it
luck.
off for now.
Geng dari
Zeno
no.
doing a great job of split pushing
Geng
on
dari
this
no.
Uranus.
Okay.
So it looks like there's a big ambush being set up.
He has a Purify and they lose Ruff. Ruff didn't have Purify. He is running with Flicker. I feel like maybe there's an idea that Arkitora wanted to gank Zeno, but realizes that as long as Purify is online, there's no way they kill him.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Dyron gonna jump in on the mid tower to prevent it being taken out. Lifted up with the lantern. Is able to clear the minion wave, but Zeno just hits the tower anyway. And now Dyron might be in some trouble as the dash out of the way. Meanwhile, Gary trying to get close to the turtle, but gets taunted away. Kim chased down by Zeno, who is very close to death. Error secures the turtle. Gary gonna get lifted up here. No, just barely escaped.
Tokun almost solo Gary. This is unexpected.
Kau nak cosplay ke? Aku rasa tak nak cosplay guys.
Very
Nampak?
impressed.
Lepas tu bila dia orang dah tak dapat nak snowball, Vamos ni pandai tekan sebab dia orang ada mostok guys. So dia orang boleh ambil tarik dengan laju, dia boleh ambil tarik dengan cepat, nampak tu. Dia orang tekan guys. Dia orang tekan terus. Ha tu bagusnya. Lepas tu dengar ada lagi Zuxi ni lagi boleh tekan tu. Apa je dia orang boleh buat siap kalau ada Zuxi guys. Kompon kena tekan. Nak harapkan Hali buat tank tak boleh nak burst orang guys.
Not the first time for Vamos
Kau
to
rasa?
be this far ahead. And we've already pointed out there is a tendency for this team to maybe throw leads. So next goal is going to be, have they fixed that issue?
Game kedua dah nak start ya? Okay, jom.
Man, he really wants to hold on to his Flicker, but Zeno forces it out. I feel
Okay,
like
betul dah nak start guys.
a map that they would thrive
Apa
in
chat ni?
is actually
Thank
dangerous
you bro.
grass. I know what, no,
Okay.
broken walls.
Ah, I can see that. Both
Okay,
teams-
nak start guys.
teams like to make things happen.
Okay, kita tengok betul lah dia akan ban Uranus
And
Kalau dia tak
if
ban
you
memang
are going
mistake
for
lah
a
guys
risky
guys.
early game
Kalau dia tak ban dia
champion, we're
mistake,
gonna
dia
fade
mistake.
number one.
Fanny
So we
Uranus
should see a
confirm
bit
kena
of a
ban.
pivot there. Phase for game number 2.
Kalau dia tak ban potong aku botak lah gila kalau dia tak ban. Tu kan.
I'm so good at this.
Wow.
Woo, we got
Itu
broken
kan?
walls, baby.
You're hitting him today.
Aku botak tu kalau dia tak ban real lah aku cakap guys.
They do actually
Real.
Uranus trying to
Ha.
test out.
Kalau dia tak ban aku botak gila. Nasib tak botak sebab aku tahu dia mesti akan ban 100%. Dia mesti akan ban
Uranus
guys.
issue or a Zeno issue?
Aku analis termantap duk sebenarnya kalau kau nak tahu guys.
I think Valdo's ban shouldn't change too much, right? Freya, Sora, Cho. Unless they are confident enough that Arky would have first pick Cho, then maybe consider living that out.
Zusin lah, Zusin tak mau ban. Oh dia first pick, dia boleh ambil Zusin guys.
They did.
Dia first pick tu dia boleh ambil
Arcu
Zusin.
is perfectly capable of picking that first. Super Yoshi plays a mean glue. So I think it
Kau-
might be better to get
Kalau
rid
tak,
of that.
kau jadi sifu Goku dah esok in Anime
This
Fest. Tak
last match is
mau
pretty
lah.
important as well because I think
Kalau tak ban dia orang curi
they
Uranus
haven't
tu.
even- they
Dia orang
haven't
takkan
moved
curi,
much
dia orang nak ambil
out of
Zusin
Valdo's
guys. Dia orang takkan
so
curi
they
guys.
will go for the Yi ban instead. That does open up the
Ya,
Zusin for
serius
them
apa
in
Yen?
that
Ya
first pick.
guys. Percaya cakap
Unless
aku
the
guys.
Zusin gets banned, but I feel like it's
Dia
highly
orang mesti ban sebab dia orang nak ambil Zusin first pick.
Would you rather ban Zusin or Glue? Zusin is definitely more of a universal nuisance. But Glue is also dangerous in the hands of Super Yoshi. You could also open up the draft so that you can get one
Sebab tu
more
dia ban
thunder
Uranus
for
sebab dia orang nak ambil
yourself.
Zusin first pick guys. Faham? Kau kena tahu mindset orang cakap apa? Kepala coach ni macam mana guys? Faham? Kena tahu kepala coach.
Respect from the side of Vamos.
So dia dah ambil mid lane.
Kalea is open, but she's
Dah
no
ambil
longer
je
that
lah
first pick material.
Zusin. Tak Arki menang je mana ada.
Back in the equation, so Zusin gets picked up again.
Still a very highly contested hero. Was it 100% win rate actually?
Kepala coach kau kena tahu tu. Kepala coach tu. Real tu.
I thought that she had dropped
Win
like
lepas
one
tu.
game at least, but this hero continues to be a problem even under the current scope of the meta.
Win lepas tu doh.
She's
Win
so
lepas.
much stronger because of the number changes to her, right? Like max HP damage, the way she
Win ada tu doh.
manages her mana.
Tadi Glue kena ban kedua. So maybe dia orang
Need more
dia orang
unique
ambil
heroes
glue.
like this.
Tadi
Like, when
RRQ
you
ban
are
glue
probably
guys.
the next
Sekarang dia dah tak ban glue.
unique hero
Tadi
I
dia tak
really
ban
enjoy
Uranus,
after
sekarang
exclusive.
dia kan tadi dia ban glue, sekarang tak ban glue, so dia ambil glue.
What is going to be the play here? I was wondering
tu
if
kan?
Vamos would still prioritize the
Itu kan?
Guinevere, considering they already countered it previously, but they will lock it in alongside with the glue. And this does create a bit of a conundrum. You would want a bunch of purifiers
Come
for
on,
the
bro.
Guinevere, but that doesn't actually help you against glue.
Come
you have
on,
double
come
flex.
on.
Yep.
Come on, tadi dia ban
that.
glue. Lepas tu dia tak ban glue.
I do think this is probably an error
Kenapa?
here though.
I
Ha,
have a feeling.
kenapa?
I have a feeling
Sekarang dia
Sarah
ban Uranus. Tadi dia ban
Xeno
glue, sekarang dia ban
Blue
Uranus.
makes
Ha,
sense,
so orang ambil lah
but
glue.
ZK Blue probably not as much. I think there's definitely they still have a couple.
Ni dia akan ambil
some
roam,
groups
tapi aku
to
tak tahu
work
roam
with.
apa. Okay.
This third
Tadi dia
pick
main roam apa
can
tadi guys?
easily be a mid laner for Vamos if
Gwyn.
they want, just to secure that
Dia tipikal
strong
laju.
presence
Ini
without
pun dia kena
revealing
lawan
much,
Gwyn
right?
roam guys.
Then you can
Kalau
make a
tak
go
Gwyn
laner.
roam, blue roam. Kalik.
But it just come through for our RQ Tora.
Tu je
And
aku
they
tahu
lock
guys.
in the quad straight away.
Ulang panah tu apa? Buff
Claude is a safe
no.
pick. Khalid going to allow you to play quite aggressively as well.
Kalau dia
It is
ambil
a
tank,
very
saya pisang.
needed pick.
Kau tahu tak kalau
Case
ada
the
glue,
does go
guys
roam.
kalau ada glue guys
There's
kau
not
tak
a
boleh
lot of
ambil
heroes
Hilda.
that would be able to
Kau ambil
directly
Hilda,
one-v-one
kau pisang.
him during
Kalah kau
rotation.
kalah lane kau. Real, tak tipu aku.
This, however, does
Kalau kau ambil
mean
glue,
that
kau boleh, guys.
RRQ
Kalau kau
is
ambil
not
Khalid,
gonna
kau boleh,
have
guys.
a lot of early game burst
Kalau kau ambil
damage.
Hilda kau pisang.
It could be supplemented by the jungler. There are a
Tu dia
couple
dah
of
ambil
choices
marksman.
left.
Show je lah marksman. Enemy dah ambil marksman. Kau RRQ dah ambil marksman. Kau show je marksman. Ambil je marksman duk. Tak payah fikir lambat. Kau tak ambil marksman sekarang, kejap lagi kena ban marksman. Dia dah show marksman. So kau show je marksman. Settle. Ya ke? Kenapa Yen? Kenapa? Sebab glue counter Hilda guys. Itu kan? Carry. Tak carry Harid. Tarik YSS. Itu je lah.
Oh,
Dia
does
pusing.
go pretty ham on this hero. So Vamos really wants to
Kenapa
close
kalau
this
ada
out.
glue tak boleh ambil tank
I
Yen?
like the way
Kena
they're
kacau
acting
Yen.
so far,
Glue lebih
honestly.
kuat guys.
Vamos has always
Kena
been
kacau
pretty
nanti.
smart
Mid
with
kalah
their
duk nanti
acting, but
dengan
you can
glue.
tell that they're quite locked in for
Lagi-lagi
this
pula
one.
kalau mid pula glue Zuxin, glue carry. Lepas tu pula glue Valentina, glue apa lagi? Tu glue Lilia ke pun boleh guys. Pisang tu nanti
As
enemy.
long as the Valentina is an option for them.
Kalau kau nak glue Loi pun boleh guys. Betul. Sebab dia dah ambil tank ni kat sini duk. Dah ambil Gwyn, dia dah ambil glue tank. So kat sini kalau dia nak ambil Loi pun boleh guys.
While keeping your late game scaling. Keep that in mind.
Ban hero di range.
Phobius gonna be the next ban instantly.
Tapi masa ada Alok tu. Tapi Alok tak ada combo tu.
Oh wait, no, they already banned Sora.
Yeah, Sora is already banned out.
This is to protect carry.
Tapi Alok tak ada combo tu. Alok kau nak main mesti kena
There's
combo
still a
guys.
chance that it also opens up the Valentina as
Eh,
a
ada
better
dah,
option
guys.
too.
Alok boleh
True.
combo.
Always in the
Alok boleh
arsenal
combo
of-
dengan
I mean, you have the Crimson Beacon, which
dengan
is
Cloud, dengan
arguably one of
Zuxin.
the best spells still in the game right now.
Betul juga guys.
And it's not hard to steal
Dia tak
it
main
because
mid lane.
Zuxin
Mid lane off.
needs to
Ban
show
mid lane
herself to
guys.
have an impact.
Mid lane apa nak ambil
Last ban from RRQ.
It's gonna
Parsa.
be tough. I think you ban
Dia ambil
Valentina.
Parsa tu. Kalau tak kena ban. Tu
Go
Parsa
for
kena ban.
Parsa. Huh.
Admittedly, RQ doesn't really have good ultimates for Valentina right now, so they're probably a little bit less worried about that possibility.
MPLMY
They
lepas
want to
franchise ni
pre-move early
betul-betul
game
saing
first.
lah kan. Best kan.
They don't want to let the Vamos snowball as heavily as they did before.
Kat sini dia akan ambil
Big
jungle.
Crimson Beacon is
Dia
the
akan ambil
best
jungle
choice
dulu
right
ke
now.
dia akan ambil
They
mid dulu
could
guys. Kalau aku jadi dia,
Blow
dia
their
aku akan
cover,
ambil
their flex cover and leave Falcon for last, or they could
Gwyn.
just pick Falcon's hero
ambil
now
dia dulu dia kan.
and
Ambil
keep
ke Alok dah.
RQ guessing.
Alok Gwyn, Alok Gwyn, Alok Gwyn, sumpah Alok Gwyn. Gwyn jungle, Alok EXP combo baik bodoh, sumpah. Lepas tu combo Alok Gwyn, glue carry. Glue carry sumpah. Pisang member guys.
Imagine they use
Real.
Civilian here.
Alok
There's
Gwyn,
also another
glue
Falcon
carry.
classic.
Satu lagi hero boleh ambil Valentina boleh.
That's Arlott.
Boleh ambil
Wow, okay, so
Valentina.
they
Valentina
keep
tak ada
Falcon's
damage ni.
hero
Tak ada
for
damage
last.
AoE. Dia orang boleh ambil Loi. Loi. Serious.
They are limiting Tyron.
They are.
Sora and Arlet have been the main heroes. This guy has played Phobius too.
Aku tak tahu
all of
guys,
which
dia orang ambil
have
apa
been
guys,
taken away.
So now it's
Ngomong sama
only
siapa, Yen?
Storm and
Sama
Lapu
viewer.
Lapu, but they aren't that good.
Aku tak tahu ini, aku tak tahu dia ambil apa guys. Meta apa dia nak bawa aku tak tahu guys.
Yuzong is not too bad. Oh, that's based off of what Diablo did. But in the grand scheme of things, not really. I mean, both of them.
I think Yuzong is still one of the better options, but that's just because basically everything else is gone. Vamos has been very smart with this. Looks like RQ is keeping it safe.
Kau baru kalah tu tadi tu.
But they will repeat the Harley.
Metang kau tadi baru kalah tu. Takkan kau pakai itu tu. Alamak, Blue Lilia. Blue Lilia boleh, siapa nama? Loi boleh duk. Loi Lilia yang boleh combo dengan glue. Nova tak boleh guys. Pilihlah Loi, Lilia.
Not bad. I
Lilia,
wouldn't say it's perfect,
play.
but it's definitely not
Salah.
bad in this case. Especially since you already have so many heroes that can
Tu boleh apa
keep
nama tu
people
guys?
in place. Vamos
Loi
are
pun
certainly
bagus.
looking to try and close this out. They have a
Dah siapa lagi
little
cantik in?
less direct
Tahu
burst
lah
damage
guys
than
aku
they
guys.
did before, though.
Aku pegang Vamos
So
lagi. Vamos menang lah guys.
RQ shouldn't
2-0
have
guys.
to be too worried about
Cubalah
getting
guys.
whacked
Kita
right
cubalah
off the
2-0
bat.
guys.
The one thing that Vamos has is late game insurance, but also
So jungle
busters.
Green. Ya, jungle
Two
Green
of
kan aku dah
them,
cakap
in fact.
tadi.
They're incredibly good at clearing waves
Green a
and
lot.
ripping through
Faham?
tanks.
Green a lot.
I'm liking
Blue
what Vamos is
carry.
bringing to the table. I think the
Itu
draft
kombonya.
definitely
Blue
favors them
dekat
on
carry
paper,
burst.
whereas
Blue
for
dekat
RQ
carry
Tora,
burst.
a lot of things have to go right because
Kalau
if
kalik
it
kena.
burns,
Kalau kalik
the
tak kena
first
okey
4
guys. Kalau
minutes,
kalik
we
kena
might
dengan
see a
glue tu
repeat of
pisang
game
dia.
one.
RQ Tora
Apa
gonna
kau
be
tu
bringing
glue?
two
Tak nak lah.
purifies this time around to try and handle the Guinevere. Will it be enough? Vamos has surprised us by taking game off of the kingdom. Can they bounce back? Or will this be the way that the foundation falls and the kingdom walls crumble in the land of Dun?
Vamos is officially the second
Dah
team
start dengan
that
kaji meta lah
has
Yin.
laid
Oh, tengah
siege to
kaji meta.
RQ Tora and able to chip away some of the bricks off the castle walls. AC was the first team to do it, but they failed eventually.
Clear sajalah lane-mu kawan.
Now Vamos has a
Clear saja lane-mu.
chance
Clear
to
saja
change that.
lane-mu.
Falcon is
Clear je.
running with the
Serius je. Sampai
flicker
Green
instead
mati
of the
lagi.
purify, so that is something to take note of this game, which means when they catch Falcon in a crowd control, they can blow him up easily. But the thing is, they don't really have much crowd control to work with.
Exactly. So it does look like the Litho will still fall into the hands of
Nice,
Gary
nice.
this time around. Dyren at the very least is going to be a lot more comfortable in this particular matchup. As long as he can win that out, then he can start making plays for his team.
The wave players, so much comfort for Lilia. Of course, Ruff and Nako fighting it out. Look at the emblems. Nako going with Festival of Blood. A lot more sustain.
Yelah RQ
Ruff
apa ni?
still goes for
Baru
the
je hub
Master
RQ begini
Assassin.
jadinya. Ini belum habis lagi bang. Ini boleh menang ni bang dia orang.
Fairly
Serius je.
standard across
Dia boleh
the
menang ni.
board.
Dia orang ada hari
Looking
ni.
at the
Ali buat
emblem
damage je
setups.
lah. Tapi dia buat tank lagi dia.
Air 404 with
Kau dah cukup badan dah tu.
temporal rain though is a little bit more interesting. Mid lane is going to be pretty 50-50. I think both of the mid duos have pretty good poke, pretty good sustain overall. So we shouldn't see any deaths before the first turtle.
Weh,
Just in
control
time to
4
take
mah.
recall.
Ini duk.
Back to base, replenish and get the level 4 in lane as well, especially Lilia, who is a lot more mana hungry compared to the two Sin. Arrow 4-4, not sure if he was
Oh,
spotted
sampai
by
Ali.
Super Yoshi, but RQ Tora have 3 men around this area.
Dyren going to be given the EXP crab to hit level 4 faster as well. Turtle is up. Gary currently taking control, resets it up. Violet Requiem doesn't land. Two-man land
Mati Zeno tak payah flicker lah Zeno. Mati gila kau.
It's likely awkward interaction
Nampak
there.
tu, dia menang
Flash
early game guys.
onto
Ha,
one,
dia
but
dah kalau dah
because
menang
of
early
luck
game baru
early
sedap
game,
guys.
it's pretty hard to just
Tahu,
go
draft dia orang
through it
tadi tak
without
salah
first.
guys. Dia menang
There's
early
something
game
that
sedap.
Vamos
Masa tadi dia
have
orang
to
salah
settle
tu
for, but
dekat
don't have to
dekat
output
turtle
this
pertama.
early on.
Itu
The
yang dia
turtle
orang
story
kalah.
over to
Draft
RQ
dia orang
Tora.
tadi okey.
Instantly a very different experience coming in from RRQ. Now that they've taken the first objective, they've taken the first kill in the EXP lane as well.
Turtle
They are
lane.
free to open
Note
the map
60
a lot
Pro.
more
Guys, Note 60
aggressively.
Pro ni bagus tak guys?
Super Yoshi.
Tengok macam gempak je kan Note 60
Gonna
Pro
try
ni
and
guys.
show up and do some reconnaissance, but is denied by Vamos. Which is the one thing that Vamos needs to keep in mind, because unlike game 1, RQ Tora have
60
so
ni
much
tergempak
early
je,
game
guys.
damage, just based off of their abilities alone. Compared to Vamos, which needs time to ramp up.
Simply even Super Yoshi by himself is gonna apply a lot more pressure compared to before. A nice minor slash, pushing Dyren
Gempak,
tower,
oh
but
yeah.
he's playing it safe. He knows how important it is.
Mana
for
lagi
him to
gempak?
win
Note
this
ke
lane.
ataupun
And unfortunately,
GT?
he also zones Zeno away from the minion wave, so Zeno is
Serious
really
question,
taking
serious
the beating
question.
after
GT
that
bagus
first blood.
ke Note bagus guys?
1k lead, 3 minutes in.
Tak pernah pakai Note.
Next
Oh.
turtle in 60 seconds. Both teams playing respectfully now after that first exchange.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to lash on the Super
Late
Yoshi as
game
well.
yang
On the
sini guys,
Grogas.
ada Lilia tu.
He's so much faster than you.
Tak tahu lah guys,
Also
aku
opens
punya
up opportunity
firasat
for
aku
Kim
guys,
to just
late game
walk
ni duk apa sini.
into
Ada
the enemy
Lilia
jungle.
carry lagi kan.
And Guinevere is one of the few jungle heroes
Firasat
that
aku kuat mengatakan
shows
game
lesser resistance
ni late
compared
game.
to someone like a Suyo or Nolan. Guinevere needs
Kalau
the
nak
team to be
compare,
around.
okay, tak
In
masalah,
this
okay.
case, Aero 4-4 won't have that luxury.
Out of all the current meta junglers, I also think that Arrow 44 hasn't played Guinevere quite as much. I think his accuracy rate on the spatial migration is a little bit lower than other junglers.
Lebih
So
enakan
we'll
lihat
see if
Arki
he's able to
Malai
set
banding
up
Arki
this time,
Hoki.
but looks like up top, Zeno in
Nice.
trouble once again. Gary comes in to pick up the Arlet.
Destroyed. There was no chance of escaping. He didn't even bother using the flicker because he know that he was dead. The moment the
Leki dah
deadly
susah ni
magic
duk,
and the
Leki
Landshaker
duk.
connected.
Alot dah
This
tak
is
edit
gonna
guys.
set up RQ Tora for
Alot
the
tu masuk
second
mesti
turtle
kena
of
burst
the
guys.
game. Genius wanna up for Gary and a 2k, almost a 2k goal lead for the Kingdom.
This is exactly the start that RQ is hoping for this game. Disrupt the EXP,
Ah,
and Team
dekat.
Vamos doesn't have a lot of team fight setup
Kamu
anymore.
dekat.
They're gonna rotate over to the turtle.
It's gonna be tough. Not with Kim around. Every time he drops the Vamos members on their teammate.
Like a forward, Z keep is trying to engage on Kim, forces out the Crimson.
Beli duit Tom Skylar. Mati jauh.
But they do
Sakit
finish
bro,
off the
sakit.
Susan. Raging Sandstorm connects on Z keep with the Landshaker gets through. But the Purified though allows them to get out. Gary gonna be melted away. Natko has joined the fight currently. 2 for 2.
Mati lagi Ali
Nako
guys.
was
Sorry
free
lah
the
guys, Ali
whole
mati tu.
time. Falcon should survive there. Nako is around. He's a dangerous man.
Arrow 44 is alive, Gary is not. Vamos have the advantage for this turtle, but Retri is still on cooldown for another 5 seconds. Looks like they will
Balik je,
still
balik.
be
Pagi
able to
turtle
push
ni,
it
pagi
through
je.
though.
Kau takkan boleh buat apa pun. Kau tak ada retribution bujang.
And the only reason that Vamos didn't win that fight harder was because Super Yoshi
Oi,
soaked out
Team
most of
Vamos
the damage
melawan
with
lah,
the
guys.
quicksand guard. Because if Nako was feeding anyone else, they would
Ya,
have
ada check lah,
instantly
guys.
be shredded. So that's the saving grace for RQ Tora, but good news for Vamos. They've shrunk that goal disadvantage from the early game down to less than 1,000, and Nako cashes in on a kill of his own too.
Yeah, Nako picking up a kill is gonna help heavily. We know that nowadays, gold laners play a pretty crucial role, and both of these players are capable
Sorry guys
of clutching up the late game.
Kita tengok game,
So
tengok game.
whoever is able to
Sabar-sabar.
get that
Jadi
lead
kita
is
reply chat guys
gonna
eh.
set their team up quite well.
It's not as
Bahaya carry dia, bahaya carry guys eh. Bahaya carry ya adik-adik ya.
Vamos able to definitely reel it back. Obviously,
Jangan
Zeno
jangan
now plays a
tak
very
syndrome
sacrificial
okay.
role.
Facial migration misses.
Tarik. Mati sudah. Mati 100% mati guys. 100% mati guys. Itu combo mati tu, itu combo mematikan tu. Real aku cakap tu,
Gary
itu
was
combo
looking for
mematikan
an
guys.
ambush angle in the top lane,
Carry
but
dulu combo mematikan
Zeno
tu.
was not there at all. They might catch him if he rotates
Itu combo
back
gila
up,
tu tu.
why do so?
Carry glue.
Nako was the win condition. He gets the golden stab. Second kill of the game.
Gelusuk
and now
overpower
he's
gitu emang.
gonna
Iya.
basically wreck this bottom tier 1. And life for Ruff gets rougher.
They're gonna trade opposing tier 1s here, so despite RQ having a much better lead, Vamos are not far behind. This is a good indication of how prepared this team is.
Yeah, Zeno definitely adjusted his
Zeno
goal.
dah
He's
pening
ready
guys.
to die
Zeno
for
dah
the team.
031 ni. Dia kata tak apalah aku
As
jadi
long as he
badan
gets
je lah.
the setup through.
They walk into an ambush, Raging Sandstorm connects on Zeno, Error 44 gets pulled backwards, a nice dodge on the spatial migration. Super Yoshi
What?
does actually get melted.
Mantap,
He
bro.
found himself in the iron sights of
Pisang
Nako and now
member.
grab on top of Kim.
Pisang member,
Used
pisang
here
member.
by Z-Kim, falls
Pisang
it
member,
back to
pisang
his
member,
death.
pisang. Pisang member, pisang member,
And
pisang
that
member.
is, this is starting to become a problem now.
Okay, dah lagi. Tutup ke game. Tutup sudah game guys eh. Tutup sudah game guys eh. Vamos menang sudah lah guys. Vamos menang sudah doh. Tutup sudah game ah.
And you can see how fast he is shredding through the front lines of RQ Tora, who is supposed to be the one that hold the fort and give room for Kim and Gary, but that won't be the case anymore. Vamos, they get the lead back in their favor.
We can argue in game 1 that Vamos got the lead and just snowball through without giving RQ
Dia dah
a
pisang
chance
dengan
to fight
glue ni
back.
tu. Glue ni
But this
buat
game,
masalah dia guys.
RQ
Menarik
are the
MPLMY
ones
sekarang.
having the
Yeah.
advantage. And Vamos is evening it up.
The Nako is playing such a good game. This carry needs to be studied. Like, he has one of the most impressive
Aduh.
carry performances out of all the
Dulu.
gold laners we have in MPLMY.
He'll always fall back to his comfort, and it works. The moment RQ drops their guard.
Every time. That's why they're willing to pick it in first phase, even though it felt like it wasn't needed. But for Natko, once it's out, you have to really give him respect.
Makes me wonder if Vamos may have broken the code here.
Alah, bos!
Answer to defeating the
Aduh,
kingdom,
sedu lah, guys.
preventing
Iwak lah, guys.
Tyrant from hitting those playmakers.
He has been the key the entire time. You take away one of the key pillars of the team, or at least you take away his tools. It's harder for Dart to cope.
Woo!
Flicker final slash forces purify from Kim. Flicker forward from
Dekat.
Steve.
Dekat,
Keep
mati
the
sudah.
play going, grab
100% mati.
He pulls off the clock.
100% mati, guys.
Two-man knockout with space like
100% semua mati.
They're all dead.
Rata. Dia rata-rata.
Double kill for the carry. Blazing Duet comes out from top. He will be able to BMI back out, but his team is gone.
In the blink of an eye, Zeno with the marvelous setup.
Sabar dok, coach.
And
Beria
that
pula
goes
si
to
coach
work
ni,
again.
dok.
Not to mention that the
Relax, dok,
commitment
coach.
of this Kim, they want to make sure that Kim cannot be a nuisance in the fight. And RQ just clumped together on top of Clockwork's Gloomy. It just blew all of them up.
Sakit pak sedu.
Now mid tier 1 goes down. Vamos in prime control of this game. 2.2k goal lead doesn't seem like much, but when you look at Natco with a 5-0 and 2 KDA, it tells you a completely different story. Queen's Wings now for Era 404.
Whatever Vamos had
Minum
in
air
the
suam
last
banyak,
week,
tu
I
aku.
want some of it. Because this is a different team. They're on the Lord. They're scouting every angle. Kim already low. Raging Sandstorm misses. Does flicker
Ali.
in.
Ali jauh, jauh.
Secures the Lord. But look at the damage. They found a shutdown
Handsome.
on Nako.
Handsome.
They finish off Error for
Handsome.
RQ Tora fighting back with
Ali
Zeno
mati.
Trace to
Carry
Yoshi.
mati, guys.
Chasing Gary away. Zeno probably going to be sacrificed here. Tries the 1v1.
Su-
Doesn't have
Woo!
one. Hit away.
Wah!
Zeno. He's walking away.
Ooh.
But Gary will finally finish him off.
Gary mati,
And
guys.
then the turnaround that RQ Tora has been looking for. They did lose the Lord, but shutting down Natco was more important than anything. Although I would say good job on ZK from stopping Gary, for having a chance to steal the Lord by rooting him in place. But RQ Tora finally rose to life for once and equalizing the game. This will be a net negative Lord for Team Vamos, but at least it allows Ruff to start having presence.
They definitely needed that one. That could be the break point for RQ. Dyron jumps in, forces the black shoes out from Clockwood. He has to flicker away, but Zeke jumps
Oh.
Alamak. Itu glue sayangku.
The fight's continuing. They pick up the glue, forces the flicker out. Here comes Error, not able to
Dekat
land the
dah,
knockout.
dekat glue.
They will end their chase there.
The gloom
Tidak!
out of this world. You really have to give respect to that and keep track of where those glooms are at. What seemed to supposedly a net negative Lord, turning out having a net positive outcome for Vamos because of that pickup in the top lane. And now they should be able to get at least this orange buff for Natco and subsequently the bottom tier 2 and eliminate all outer tier defenses of RQ Tora.
If Vamos does win this one, Nako will probably be the MVP, but Zeke is setting these fights up, dude. These glue pickoffs actually killing people on his own. Man has
Dapat
been
pula
doing
glue
work.
carry, guys.
And
Member
it
glue
doesn't help
carry.
RQ Tora.
Lepas
his
tu
targets are
alot
Kim
gini
and
ber.
Gary.
Bapak.
Whoever he latches
Anda.
on, RQ Tora cannot focus fire him because they will just kill the teammates in return.
It's a big issue. They need
Jangan
someone
recall
else to
banyak
take
sangat,
the
jangan
grab,
recall
but
banyak
Zeke
sangat.
is not
Fokus
biting
main.
onto the bait.
Man, this guy's a cursed helm. He has a glowing one. Look at what he's
Macam dah
he's
sistem
building. Is
pula
that
dia
a
orang
wishing
recall, guys.
lantern?
He's building more damage.
Is it going wishing lantern next?
Dude's insane. Why
Or is it
not?
concentrated energy? It's wishing lantern, right? It has to.
Could be. We'll have to wait and see. There's a couple things those items could build into. But considering that RQ already isn't doing enough damage to take him out, why not?
He saw Diablo do it previously, and he's like, I'm gonna one-up you and go full damage instead.
Could bite him in the butt if the game lasts long enough.
Ice Queens won. So they have
Oh,
two ice.
wow.
Ah, okay.
Macam mana, guys? Macam mana nak lawan
There's some
SRG ni,
durability
guys?
there.
Lawan dengan Vamos pun nak
So Zeke
nak
with the
cekik ni.
utility magic build and Clockhood with the damage magic build.
Macam mana? Aku
Also
tengok dekat
Xperia.
TikTok tu banyak, guys.
Like a
Orang
helium
match
bomb,
big, guys.
a hydrogen bomb now.
Dia orang cakap
There it
apa ni?
is. Just magic defense. Only
RQ
Super Yoshi
Tora
has it on
menunggu
RQ
lawan
with the
sepadan
radius.
SRG.
That explains why Gary blows
Lawan dengan
so
Vamos
fast.
pun nak tercekik
Well, they're on the Lord. Super Yoshi providing vision. Violet Requiem.
Ui, sakit.
Oh, shit!
Ui,
What?
cantik
He
tu.
steals the Lord! And now they're going for the backline. They
Ui,
land the
cantik tu.
Landshaker on Error 404. Can they get him? No, Winter Crown
Ui,
comes out. To
ui.
keep him alive.
Ali mati tu.
Integrated wave. Not
Belakang
go.
hati,
He's
belakang hati, belakang
dismantling
hati,
the
belakang
back.
hati.
Tsuryoshi will be traded away. Team Vamos still 5-man strong. And there's only
Uish.
2 survivors on RQ Tora.
Cekik matamu.
Despite the
Ni
steal,
macam mana nak
Vamos
lawan
are running it
SRG
down.
It
guys?
was 3v5 all along because
Tapi Lord dapat guys.
Zikip and
Lord kat
Zeno
atas tu.
kept
Bawah.
the
Lord kat
main
bawah.
damage dealers of RQ Tora
Boleh ambil tarik tu satu.
behind. Rup and Kim
Ada
could
carry
not
tu.
participate in the fight. So what if there is a Lord? Vamos will be the first one to take an inhibitor regardless.
Balik.
They should be plenty
Dia Lord.
satisfied with that one. The Lord
Ya
should be
doh,
cleared
banyak
up
doh
quite
naikkan
easily.
minyak
They'll
tengok.
probably lose the
Bagi
buff
aku
here
sama
to
je guys.
maximum.
Team Malaysia sama je guys. Semua kuat doh.
Vamos are locked
Kita tu
in.
expect
That
doh
is
siapa menang.
unfortunate because imagine if both the damage dealers were able to join the fight. It would be
Tim-tim yang bawah lah,
Nako
yang
would have
bawah. Yang bawah
100%
bagi
been
aku semua 50-50 guys.
but a 3v5
Yang betul-betul
with
kuat
Nako
cuma
free
SRG
hitting,
je
no
tu.
chance for RQ
Yang aku
Tora
nampak
at
lah.
all. And then negative
Yang
Lord,
yang
this
bawah-bawah
time
ni semua
guaranteed.
50-50 guys.
And
SRG
Silver Lining
sahaja
that Rup still
yang
doing pretty well. He is almost 2K
overall
behind, but he is
orang
hitting
cakap
his
apa?
final
Orang
item
bilang
pretty soon.
This is definitely going to become a rough versus Natco fight eventually.
yang 100% boleh menang
RQ
tu.
Tora definitely not going down
Pik, internet
without
RM1
a
doh.
fight like previous game.
Semua viewer pick masuk sini doh.
And contrary to game 1, it's not a 10k goalie that
Let's
determines
go, let's go.
outcome
Vamos.
of the game, but just
Tunjukkan
a
kekuatan anda.
range of 2 to
Vamos nampak
4,000.
improvement.
Now being held
Improvement.
by Team
Nampak?
Vamos.
Betul?
And a good
Okay, dia
shutdown
rank
to
flank guys.
Natco could flip
Dia
that
rank flank
script
guys. Dia
around.
nak ambil Natco. Natco belum ada
Even
flicker.
Zikip,
Jangan
who
fight
is, I
dulu.
think, holding on to quite
Kalau
a
tak ada
lot of
flicker
gold.
jangan fight dulu duk.
He has the same error
Dia orang
with
kena
Arrow,
tunggu
by the
sampai
way.
flicker spell semua ada baru boleh fight guys.
Wow,
Yeah,
seriously?
yeah.
15 saat, 15 saat.
He has more network than Zeno.
You're right.
This Roma pretty rich, huh? He has more network
Tetek
than
skin
Kim
tu
and
tetek skin
Dyrus.
perlu juga tu.
Needs to be
Aku punya like baru
Honestly.
8,000 sial.
Clockun as well actually has not died yet this game completely.
Yeah,
RQ needs to respect this.
despite a couple of hard dives. I mean, RQ now has tough decisions to make, right? Who do you full send on to?
Bigger vitals left.
Wow! Wow!
Insane communication.
Oh God! RQ fans
Woo!
stunned by that
1K cukup
execution.
ke? Tak cukup. Tu cukup 20k, 20k, 30k ke?
That was beautiful.
That was
What a thinking
I
man!
cannot see it from Vamos.
What a combo!
my man Zeno. I was wrong about you.
I think
Kan
we
betul
all
aku cakap
were.
late game guys.
all
Ya,
owe
sebab ada
Zeno
Lilia carry
an
tu. Masih
apology.
late game je guys.
Public apology for this guy.
Oh,
Oi,
careful, just barely survives
Mati
deadly
kau.
magic.
Matamu nak aku masuk
Don't know why he
situ.
walked
Kau
them
boleh
so
relax
far
sikit
without
aku.
his team there.
Itu
Hey, look,
Ali tu
Festival
kalau
so
burst kau
nice.
hilang matamu tu.
Zeno attempting to steal that away. Bad XP laner.
Well, here's the
Okay,
next
okay,
Lord.
betul.
RQ Tora, only 2 inhibitors left. Team Vamos still holding on to all of their
Sabar lu,
tier
sabar lu.
2s.
Landing dulu, landing dulu,
The
landing
network
dulu.
difference is only 2k. so
Tengah,
anything can still
bawah,
happen.
atas tu biar.
Long lane is in Team Vamos' fate.
Siapa muncul atas, terus gas.
Oh, they definitely saw Gary, right?
They did. Gary was trying to bait them.
Tengah bawah, Ali muncul atas.
Nice to recall for
Lord,
Cloud, but
dia orang
he
Lord
needs
guys.
mana
Ali
back
muncul
up.
atas Lord.
Doesn't have the enchanted palace.
Ali
but
muncul atas Lord. Okay, Lord guys. Okay, Ali dah hilang. Okay, Ali dah hilang. Okay,
This is a
santai
tense
santai
one.
dulu.
Both teams know how important this is. Vamos have been controlling things.
Okay, Ali muncul atas, Lord.
Still fall away from them if they make
Okay,
a mistake.
okay.
Gary
Okay,
on the clock.
tipis-tipis, Lord
Trying to go.
tipis-tipis, Lord
Clockun has to use
tipis-tipis.
the black shoes very early
Oh,
on.
mati,
Keep
jauh.
on top of Gary. That's the
What a
jungler.
team, man.
He's not in the fight. Team Vamos wants to steal this. Raging Sandstorm comes out, blazing the way. They're going for Nako. They're trying to meld him down, but they're not able to find Error 4-4. Gets the Lord. And now Vamos turns it around on them. Gary was able to get away from Ziki, but he's not able to join the fight safely. The rest of RQ though are able to disengage and they pull Ziki
rough.
back. They
Who's
punish
rough?
him.
Who's
That
rough?
is the unfortunate result of a
Ooh.
magic damage.
Ooh.
Okay, signs of life for RQ
Ooh, what a
Tora.
thinking man!
Falls into the hands of Team Vamos. And the fact that Gary was able to get out of there, I honestly thought Ziki was going to kill him when he lashed onto him. But thankfully that was not the case.
Zeno,
Zeno
tidak gitu
shouldn't be here.
Zeno.
Two-man final slash. Flickers out. He'll be okay. Ruff is starting to hurt quite a bit. So they have to respect the clock.
Santai tu Zeno.
Okay. This is by no means
Ya habis
game over
flicker
yet
mu
for RQ
tu.
Tora. There is glimmer of hope. As long as Zeno doesn't get a great setup like he did previously and take out members of
Raf
RQ
bagus
Tora,
tu,
they can
Raf
definitely
lupa
do
tu.
this. They've reached the critical mass where
Raf
Ziki
bagus tu dia. Raf.
is less of a
Ali tak
non-factor
mati
as
dah,
long
late game
as they
susah
are
mati,
able
eh.
to blow him up. So this loss shouldn't do too much unless Vamos wants to push the envelope.
Bit of a hard
Uh-huh.
angle to collapse in from,
Uh-huh.
especially since the
Uh-huh.
Lord is already dying.
Uh-huh.
And Zkeep is not here. So Vamos is going to have to accept that this objective doesn't result in anything.
Santai dulu. Main dulu, Glue. Main dulu, Glue.
Vamos taking one game off of the kingdom, but now we are
Ketos.
back at the
Macam
even
mana
state,
Ketos aku
and
punya
Kim
prediction
also
Ketos.
has been able to. As long as Kim is
Mantap lah
alive,
Ketos. Prediction
Arctic Tora will have a
Ketos.
higher chance of winning this out because of
Late
this
game,
disruption that they have.
That's a
prediction.
big wave down bottom.
Prediction
This should
hero
be a
pun
free
bagus.
inhibitor. Super Yoshi. Oh,
Banyak
he
nak
gets
plan,
stunned.
guys,
Nice from Zeno. Do they want to? Yes, they do. Violent Requiem.
Tak boleh tu. Santai tu.
They won't be able to kill. No, final slash puts him back once again. Quicksand guard used. He's alive. Arrow 4 goes in. He's so low on HP thanks to the deadly magic, but he is able to jump away and look at the healing and
Anjas.
concentrated energy.
Keren kali fight-nya, Dok. Keren kali fight-nya, Dok.
That was actually the biggest difference maker there.
Keren sekali
Confident
fight-nya,
in being
Dok.
alive. The Queen's Wings as well triggering, and he has a Winter Crown on top of that if he does need it. Both sides inhibitor gone down. The fourth Lord spawning in under a minute on the top side. And now the goal difference does not matter anymore. It really comes down to the item swaps. But I gotta say, Nako has been playing on the edge a little bit because those deadly magic connections, they hurt. They hurt so much.
But I think it's actually not a bad idea to be a little
Kiting tu
aggro
apa,
here.
Yen? Kiting
Especially
tu
on one of his most comfortable heroes. This is the best opportunity to do it. Because you
Di
have
sini.
to make a difference now. We're 20 minutes in. Game is still
Jangan
pretty
cakap,
even.
Kiting, guys.
Biggest challenge for Arcutora right now is having both side lanes go down. And still needing to somehow get into position to fight Team Vamos. Because I feel like that would
Atas
be
tu,
the only way back, or
atas tu
the
pisang tu, member ni.
easiest way back. And that includes them risking it all
Ah,
for the
duduk tu.
biscuit. Oh,
They see Super Yoshi.
it's dangerous.
Oh, they've been scouted by Kim. RQ not willing to go for the full commit. They don't see the rest of Vamos yet.
Bagus lagi.
But it does allow them to walk up and get control just
Apa
for a
ni?
little bit.
Net awareness dia bagus tu.
Rafu need to deal with the wave in the top lane. Bottom lane pretty much pushed in. So Arcutora able to set up with the rest of the members around this pit.
Even without the Claude here, Vamos cannot start the fight willy-nilly. They know how quickly he can clear and rejoin.
Minion mu atas tu, bang. Minion atas tak bergerak, tengah auto gerak gila.
Who is
Faham
going
tak?
to make
Minion
the
semua
first
tak
move?
bergerak,
They
tengah
scout
auto menang,
Gary.
atas tu menang
Up
tu.
next to Ziki.
Wave still in the base, but should be cleared up by the minion wave in no time. But now there's a bottom wave. The long lane is now pushing in. And the Lord is max stacked.
Error goes in, forces Purify from Kim. The Lord knock up on Nako, a bit unfortunate, but he is
Winter.
able to dash away. Winter Crown going to be used, misses the Latch Shaker. Error
Anjas,
is able to escape.
berkelas.
On top of Kim. Nako doing damage, replacing Winter comes in with the Wind of Nature. Ruff going to be able to melt away, but not able to get any
Minion mu,
kills.
minion mu
And
bang,
Zeno,
minion mu bang, minion mu bang.
Yoshi walks away with 1 HP. Winter Crown once again.
Kelas!
He's going to be the first casualty of the fight. Zeno loses immortality. Ruff is trying to rejoin, but there's too many of them. Vamos are so low right now, but there's just not enough.
Anjis.
They pop the conceal.
Fight-nya.
They know they cannot chase.
Berpeluh
with
fight-nya,
the
Dok.
carry around for 40 seconds, this should be a good window.
Siren jumps in once again. Look at the
Anjis! Oh, fuck! Oh, shit! Au, 2-0. Oh! 2-0, Dok. What a thinking, man!
Standing ovation from the Vamos camp. Arrow 4 celebrates. Unprecedented, but an upset by the villains themselves. No longer the ones that are looked down upon.
2-0,
As they etch the mark
man.
on the kingdom walls
2-0, man.
of Arcutora.
2-0, man. What a thinking, man.
By maybe the most unlikely of challenges. The new era of Team Vamos has clean swept Arcutora.
The serpent beckons today against the Tigers. What an impressive
Kau
performance
kena
for
jadi
Team
fan Vamos
Vamos.
selepas ni.
I think
Aku punya janji
like
kita
I- like
lupa
we said
je.
at the start,
Bangun menang
this
buka baju
was
kan. Lupa
our
kan.
Arcutora
Tak buat,
favourite.
tak buka kan.
But Vamos tipped the odds.
Sumpah cantik tu
And
dia orang punya
now
fight. Ria.
Shown themselves as a true contender in the regular season.
Ya Allah, auto win
It
Yen.
is
Ya Allah, auto
time
win
to revisit the tier lists. Ladies
Itu
and
ada
gentlemen,
Lilia
no
dengan
one would
Carry
have
tu. Dia orang nak
expected
tembus
this
tu
one.
susah tu.
we thought it'd be a good fight. It would be a close battle. But we would
Oof.
not have expected a complete domination.
Gila ya.
Vamos
Kau dah janji
has
nak jadi fans
improved
dia.
by
Ya.
leaps
Mulai
and
hari ni
bounds.
guys, aku
Just
fans
making
Vamos
better
guys.
decisions as well. The
Mulai
team
hari ni
fights were
aku
clean,
fans
the
Vamos.
execution
Okay? Yen lalang.
was pixel perfect.
Mulai hari ni
And
aku
you can
fan
feel
Vamos
how
guys
important this match was.
Walaupun aku tak ada baju dia.
Unfortunately for RQ Tora, there is some sit-downs and discussions that need to be made. And you can see in the Aero 4-4, this was a euphoric moment. A win that was hard-earned. And it paid off big time. Facebook comments going to be lit today, by the way.
I'm sure they're aware that general sentiment was against them, so I'm sure they'll have
Draft
some
dia macam nak kena
spicy
baca,
things
guys.
to say.
Mama.
Let's not
Aku
take it
pun dah
any
boleh baca
longer.
tu draft
Let's throw
dia.
it over to the interview.
Dia yang bayar
Pasukan
dia.
yang berjaya patahkan win streak RRQ Tora.
Kelihatan gelo semua je tu. Fighting dia
berikan
kelas
tepukan
tu.
kepada
Fighting dia.
Team Vamos.
Okay, kita dengar.
Boys, congratulations. That was an amazing game. Natko, how are you feeling?
So happy.
So happy. Tadi
Yeah.
nampak semua team Vamos kan, heart rate semua memang tinggi. Coach pun heart rate tinggi.
Your heart rate?
Coach, even your heart rate was high. Are you scared?
Sai?
Yeah, it's high.
It was high. You guys were nervous, right?
Yeah.
Mungkin kita boleh start dulu kot dengan Natko. Sebab kalau kita bezakan permainan Natko daripada minggu pertama sampai
Glue tu kacau. Ya, memang betul guys. Tadi tu Uranus. Lepas tu dia ban Uranus, dia buka Glue. First game, dia ban Glue. Second game, dia buka Glue, dia ban Uranus.
drastik macam tu.
Based on apa ya? Mungkin tim ya. Tim yang apa? Pengen aku buat lebih improve.
Tapi asal
Terus dari
dia ambil
coach
Hali
juga
lagi.
banyak ajar lah, banyak learn lah.
Okay, kejap lagi aku review.
So
Kejap lagi
banyak
aku review draft.
ambil ilmu dan
Banyak ambil
input daripada coach dan juga team
Input
juga.
dari tim
Sabar jangan aku review Jangan aku review. Kau relax je guys.
Team Vamos sekarang banyak we can say junior players lah kan.
Yeah.
So macam mana adik-adik nasihat ataupun tolong Natko dalam game?
cakap jangan mati banyak, gendong tim.
Apa ni? Weh, predik salah siau banyak. Kau tengok aku punya tajuk tu apa? Aku cakap apa? Halah Vamos. Sebab
Always
aku dah tahu. Sebab aku dah tahu Vamos menang.
Sabar sikit macam tu.
Yeah.
Okay, we like that. And of course, berjaya kalahkan and of course patahkan win streak RRQ Tora 2-0 in a very amazing and clean style daripada Team Vamos. So, adakah Team Vamos expected this win today?
Yeah.
Oh, expected. So, meaning to say, Vamos sudah buat preparation dah lama untuk perlawanan ini?
Betul? Kita confident.
Oh, what made you guys so confident? Yes, coach.
Pabit. Coach is very confident.
Yeah, I can see in the face cam, coach was so confident. Coach, why are you so confident about this matchup today?
I think all based on our result also in the scrims. So
Yang
the team
rumput
is so
panjang-panjang tu
fired
kita
up
panggil
right
apa
now
Yen?
to
Yang
play
rumput
against our
panjang-panjang.
team. Then yeah, that's the confidence comes from, and everybody in
Rumput
the Vamos
panjang-panjang.
also
Clean.
cheering for us.
What a thinking, man. Rumput
Okay,
panjang-panjang.
now, Coach Pacbet, I want to ask. The first
Babi
2
punya
weeks
pilih,
of
babi.
MPLMY, Vamos looked rather shaky.
Aku
What
fan
was
Vamos,
the main
okay?
reason
Hey!
for the shakiness?
I think the process is not overnight for us. We need time to adjust, and our chemistry I think it's good right now. But I think it's a lot of improvement.
Kau tengok
also
ni.
right
Yen
now.
dah predict
We will see.
Vamos menang
I
pagi
think
tadi.
we did see a lot of
Kau pergi
improvements
baca
from
tu
side
kat
of
atas.
Team Vamos compared to
Kau pergi
week
baca
one,
kat
right?
atas. Okay. Yen
Now,
dah predict
after
Vamos
this
menang
win, and
pagi
it's a
tadi. Kau
very
pergi baca kat
convincing
atas.
win up against RRQ Tora, does this mean that Vamos is already 100% back in the game? Have you guys regained your confidence and all the morale that you guys used to have prior to this?
Yeah, I think.
So, you think your next game up against Team Flash, where
Kau cakap
Zorn is
sanggup
at,
tak jadi
you guys are
Gary.
actually
Mana
very
ada
confident.
bangsat.
Yeah, we're confident against Zorn, so he needs to be ready to face us.
Oh, tadi Rose interview Zorn and he said, siap-siap Vamos. He said, just wait, get ready for him. But thank you very much, Coach Pacbet. Alright guys, kita dah nampak perlawanan clean sweep. Tapi hanya seorang yang boleh menjadi MVP
Korang jangan
of
marah
the
Yen.
match.
Dia memang lalang dari dulu.
Siapakah MVP anda?
MVP siapa kan MVP guys?
Mari kita tengok MVP in 3, 2, 1.
one.
MVP jatuh kepada siapa?
Pada room lah guys.
Zikif! Alright, Zikif, come join us up on stage. Natko, I nak tanya. Zikif ni dekat rumah macam mana? Banyak cakap ke? Pemalu ke?
Dia macam badut-badut.
Selalu buat apa?
Kau apa boleh tanya? Tak apa
Semua hal dia buat.
Semua hal dia buat.
Guys.
Oh. You know what? Zikif, congratulations. Walaupun Natko baru cakap you ni badut. Tapi congratulations atas kemenangan ini. How do you feel? Mesti hype kan?
Happy lah, happy.
Happy.
Bersyukur.
Okay, Zikif. Rose nak tanya. Bila Zikif masuk tim ni, ramai orang dah asyik compare you dengan Zon, betul? Last week Zikif cakap, Zikif nak prove them wrong. Tapi minggu ni, I think we will be seeing a showdown. Dah ready ke untuk jumpa Zon?
Dah.
Is there anything yang you nak cakap kepada Zon?
Well played, bro.
Adakah kita akan saksikan recall-recall yang akan berlaku di dalam Land of Dawn adakah kita akan saksikan recall-recall di dalam Land of Dawn untuk Ahad ni?
Biar ada seorang je recall, saya tak.
Wow, seorang je. So, you nak cakap you ni good boy lah? You nak cakap you good boy lah? Betul. Okay, Zikif. Rose nak tanya satu soalan. Di mana kita tahu these players, coach.
Kau tahu tak, Zakif ni kan, dia orang je kan. Dia jadi macam spontan kan tu guys. So mulut yang keluar daripada, apa ayat yang keluar daripada mulut dia kelakar kan tu guys.
Ahad ni.
Sebab muka dia muka innocent lah, innocent.
Sebab coach dengan team teammate dia akan tahu apa bad habit Zone sebelum ni. So kita orang akan gunakan tu sebagai advantage kita orang lah.
Do you think it's going to help you untuk lawan Zone?
Boleh juga.
Oh guys,
Boleh
kau
juga.
ni jangan sampai kena mute
Okay,
kau,
you know what,
Solero.
Zikif, is there anything yang nak cakap kepada fans Vamos
Jangan
yang
cakap
datang
aku
hari
seru,
ni?
wey. Mute
Meriah,
Solero ni.
sangat
30
meriah.
saat.
Shout out to Forza Vamos sebab support kita orang. Thank you sebab datang. And thank you juga kepada sponsor U-Mobile, Felda, Teroka.
Jangan marah tak
Jeep,
pun.
Jeep. Cakap ni.
Okay, kita review guys.
Ni.
Okay, kita review.
Okay, terima kasih yang datang hari ni.
Alright, terima kasih
Review
sekali
okay, guys,
lagi.
Okay, review
Congratulations
review
to Team
Betul
Vamos.
spontan lah, ya.
With that, mari let's throw it back to the casters to give us an analysis on apa terjadi dalam perlawanan ini.
Ya,
With
Zakif
that,
ni
let's
dia
throw it
macam
back
ni
to
Dia
the
macam aneh
casters.
sikit tu. Okay, kita review guys.
Team Vamos with
Okay, kita review guys.
is
Okay.
like their X factor.
Okay, mesti kau tanya-tanya kan. Tadi aku nampak tadi ada komen cakap kenapa dia ambil Hali
They
lagi.
do go for the Lilia. Alright.
Betul tak? Kau cakap itu kenapa ambil
I
Hali
can say
lagi.
it's
Actually
perfect, but it's
bukan
definitely
masalah
not
Hali
bad in
guys.
this case.
Faham tak guys? Bukan masalah
Since you already
kau
have
ambil
something
Hali. It's not about Hali. Lepas tu tadi aku nampak komen dia orang cakap macam mana kalau Khalid ni tukar dengan Rom tank. Lagi awal kalah. Serius, lagi senang kalah. Kenapa lagi senang kalah Abang Yin? Sebab lagi senang kena burst dengan carry and glue guys.
Bros that can.
Burst carry and glue lagi senang nak tenggek dekat atas tank guys berbanding Khalid. Khalid ni kalau dia kena tenggek, Khalid still boleh lari. Khalid boleh still ke belakang, boleh pancing ke belakang macam itu guys. So kalau dia orang nak menang, sebenarnya yang kacau kat sini glue. First game tadi yang kacau dia adalah siapa nama tu guys? Uranus. Kan first game tadi dia ban Fanny. Kan first game tadi dia ban Fanny, dia ban Uranus, dia ban YVE. Apa? First game tadi guys. So Uranus ni dia tak ban. So Uranus ni Zeno pakai. Bantai-bantai Zeno pakai. Lepas tu game kedua dia ban Uranus, dia lepaskan glue. Glue first pick dengan Guinevere macam itu. Guinevere ni still flex. Kalau ada glue, Guinevere still flex sebab glue ni dia boleh duduk dekat Rome, dia boleh duduk dekat EXP. So kalau kau tanya aku, dia orang ambil glue dengan Guinevere, dia orang still tak nampak apakah glue ni Rome atau EXP. Apakah Guinevere ni jungle ataupun Rome. So dua ni hero flex guys. Faham? Dua ni hero flex. Lepas tu bila pick yang ketiga dia ambil Cloud. Okay, dia dah tunjuk Cloud sini, dia dah show Cloud kat sini. Bila dia dah show Cloud dekat sini, dia terus ambil carry. Sebab apa? Sebab dia dah show Cloud pick yang ketiga. So dia ambil lah pick yang ketiga, dia terus ambil carry. Gitu. Vamos draft dia banyak buat keliru, orang bayar juga. Tidaklah keliru kat orang. Semuanya, kalau kau tanya aku, RRQ ini dia ada meta dia sendiri guys. Faham tak? Vamos dia ada meta dia sendiri. RRQ dia ada meta dia sendiri. So sekarang ni dia nak try meta Hali. Faham? Dia nak try meta Hali. Khalid Zusin. Dia senang cerita dia nak main meta Hali dah guys. Untuk hari ni dia nak main meta Hali. Hali ni sebenarnya bagus. Faham? Hali ni sebenarnya bagus. Tadi, kalau tengok tadi early game dia dapat turtle pertama. Turtle kedua dia tak dapat. Turtle kedua dia kalah. Turtle ketiga dia kalah. So, dia snowball cuma sekejap saja guys. Sebab dia tak snowball. Dia kalau snowball, kau kena dapat turtle pertama, kedua, ketiga. Itu betul-betul snowball. Tapi kalau dapat turtle pertama saja, itu belum dikira snowball guys. Sebab turtle kedua dia orang tak dapat, turtle ketiga pun dia orang tak dapat guys. Draft kau predict tu yang jadi menang Cok. Cok aku percaya boleh menang. Ya, yeah, betul. Aku punya draft predict semua betul kan. Ya, real. So sebenarnya draft RRQ ni tak ada masalah. Kalau Khalid ni tukar dengan tank, lagi senang RRQ kalah. Lagi balik awal lah senang cerita. Lagi balik awal. Sebab apa? Sebab ada glue guys. Glue lagi senang nak lekat dekat tank. Contohlah tank yang korang bagi. Tank yang korang bagi apa geng? Tank yang korang bagi Tigreal. Apa lagi? Atlas. Pure Tank, Gatot. Actually kalau Diren kan, kalau dia nak ambil Gatot boleh. Kalau dia betul-betul nak try ambil Gatot boleh guys. So dekat sini the key adalah kat sini 4 ni dah okey guys. 4 ni okey. Tapi the key adalah Diren. Diren dekat sini sepatutnya dia kena ambil hero yang boleh counter engage. High loss. Siapa nama? Gatot yang boleh counter engage. So tak ada masalah pun sebenarnya dia ambil lapu pun boleh je ambil lapu. Sebab dia ambil lapu apa? Sebab apa dia ambil lapu? Sebab dia nak menangkan turtle pertama, so dia nak snowball early game. Sebab tu dia ambil lapu. Kalau dia tak ambil lapu, dia ambil Yuzong. So kau boleh pilih sama ada kau nak Yuzong ataupun kau nak ambil lapu. So boleh pilih. So dia ambil lapu untuk menangkan snowball early game. So kalau kau dah snowball early game lagi sedap main meta Hali. Hali ni tak ada masalah pun, senang je. Cumanya Vamos yang pandai main. Faham tak? Combo-combo dia tahu macam mana nak patahkan, macam mana nak menyerang, macam mana nak kiting. Dia orang tahu macam nak kiting. Kau tengoklah. Glue combo dengan carry. Guinevere Alot combo. Glue boleh combo dengan Lilia. Guinevere boleh combo Lilia. So Guinevere boleh combo dengan Alot. So kat sini semua combo guys. Glue dapat tinggi seorang aja. Glue dapat tinggi Khalid sudah settle. Glue dapat tinggi lapu-lapu settle. Glue dapat tinggi Cloud settle. Glue pun boleh solo kill Cloud guys. So tak masalah pun. Masalah dekat Glue tu sendiri. Dekat Vamos sendiri yang kuat guys. Bukan masalah yang RRQ yang lemah. Meta dia ni kuat. Bagus metanya. Tapi kalau kau ikut syarat, kalau kau tanya aku kan, aku lebih suka ni real aku lebih suka Cloud ni digantikan dengan YSS. Ni Cloud gantikan dengan YSS sebab dia ada ulti boleh open map. Sabar guys. Hello? Oh lama. Okey. Dah sampai okey, kejap. Blok 8. Belakang sekali betul. Okey. Lala move lah guys. Okey, Lala move. Ajak dia nobar kan. Lala move. Okey. Balik tak meta ke? Tak meta. Okey je ini. Tapi kalau kau ikut saranan aku kalau kau ikut meta aku lah kalau dia nak main Hali dekat sini tukar YSS sebab dia boleh open vision guys, ultimate dia. So sangat-sangat membantu untuk counter Guinevere, untuk counter carry, untuk counter Alot. Tapi kalau nak main Cloud pun bagus. Cloud ni burst AoE dia bagus guys. Kau tengok tadi Raf main Cloud macam mana. Jago anjing Cloud dia sumpah. Lapu-lapu ni maybe boleh tukar Gatot. Yuzong pun boleh guys. Gatot boleh. Tak masalah pun. Itu je. Actually okey doh, draft dorang sumpah. Draft dorang okey guys. Apa kata kalau aku pergi ambil barang je? Aku ambil barang je guys kat bawah guys. Tunggu jap Kau tengok dulu game ni guys. Lagi aku review lebih okay. Kerana aku pun pandai simpan sticker untuk Cloud. Ya betul. Sebab tak ada siapa boleh hit dia. Faham tak? Tak ada siapa boleh hit dia. Kan tak ada si siapa nama? Kan dah ada si mamang tanah ni yang dah ada Glue, dah ada Gwyn, dah ada siapa ni Alot. So carry ni selamat gila yang boleh masuk dekat dia, yang boleh dive dekat dia. Kata siapa? Hali pun tak nak dive dekat dia kalau fight tu. Yang boleh dive dekat dia tu si Cloud tu boleh bagi damage sebab AoE dia besar. Dia damage dia besar. Sekejap guys, ambil makan. Ambil barang
Will this be the way that the foundation falls and the kingdom walls crumble in the land of Dun?
Vamos is officially the second team that has laid siege to RRQ Tora. and able to chip away some of the bricks off the castle walls. AC was the first team to do it, but they failed eventually. And now Vamos has a chance to change that. Falcon is running with the Flicker instead of the Purify, so that is something to take note of this game, which means when they catch Falcon in a crowd control, they can blow him up easily. But the thing is, they don't really have much crowd control to work with.
Exactly. So it does look like the Litho will still fall into the hands of Gary this time around. Dyren at the very least is going to be a lot more comfortable in this particular matchup. As long as he can win that out, then he can start making plays for his team.
The wave clear, so much comfort for Lilia. Of course, Ruff and Nako fighting it out. Look at the emblems. Nako going with Festival of Blood, a lot more sustained, whereas Ruff still goes for the Master Assassin.
Fairly standard across the board, looking at the emblem setups. Arrow 404 with the Temporal Rain, though, is a little bit more interesting. Mid lane is going to be pretty 50-50. I think both of the mid duos have pretty good poke, pretty good sustain overall. So we shouldn't see any deaths before the first turtle.
Yep. Just in time to take the recall. Back to base, to replenish and get the level 4 in lane as well. Especially Lilia, who is a lot more mana hungry compared to the two Sin. Arrow 4-4, not sure if he was spotted by Super Yoshi, but RQ Tora have 3 men around this area.
Dyren gonna be given the EXP crab to hit level 4 faster as well. Turtle is up. Gary currently taking control, resets it up. Violet Requiem doesn't land. 2-man Landshaker. Dyren is gonna be the one to pick up first blood this time.
Slightly awkward interaction there. Final slash only onto 1, but against a Lapu early game, it's pretty hard to just go through him without first. But it's something that Vamos have to set up for, but don't have the output this early on. So the Turtle surrendered over to RRQ Tora.
Instantly a very different experience coming in from RRQ. Now that they've taken the first objective, they've taken the first kill in the EXP lane as well. They are free to open the map a lot more aggressively.
Yeah, Super Yoshi also gonna try and show up and do some reconnaissance, but is denied by Vamos. Which is the one thing that Vamos needs to keep in mind, because unlike game 1, RQ Tora have so much early game damage, just based off of their abilities alone. Compared to Vamos, which needs time to ramp up.
Simply even Super Yoshi by himself is gonna apply a lot more pressure compared to before. A nice final slash, pushing Dyren tower, but he is playing it safe. He knows how important it is for him to win this lane.
And unfortunately, he also zones Zeno away from the minion wave, so Zeno is really taking the beating after that first blood.
1k lead, 3 minutes in. Next turtle in 60 seconds. Both teams playing respectfully now after that first exchange.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to lash on the Super Yoshi as well on the glue, because he just moves so much faster than you. It also opens up opportunity for Kim to just walk into the enemy jungle. And Guinevere is one of the few jungle heroes that shows lesser resistance compared to someone like a Suyo or Nolan. Guinevere needs the teams to be around. In this case, Arrow 4-4 won't be a luxury.
Out of all the current meta junglers, I also think that
Testing.
Guinevere
Okay guys
much.
jelas aku terangkan tadi guys.
Accuracy rate on the spatial migration is a little bit lower than other junglers, so we'll see if he's able to set up this time. But looks like up top, Zeno in trouble once again. Gary comes in to pick up the Arlet.
Destroyed. There was no chance of escaping. He didn't even bother using the flicker because he knew that he was dead the moment the deadly magic and the Landshaker connected. This is gonna set up RQ Tora for the second turtle of the game. Genius 1 up for Gary and a 2k, almost a 2k goal lead for the Kingdom.
This is exactly the start that RQ is hoping for.
RQ Poke.
Disrupt the EXP and
Jelas guys aku punya penerangan tadi guys it's not about salah hero guys, bukan. Tapi Vamos tu sendiri yang kuat. Faham tak? Bukan salah hero. Kalau katanya aku, it's not salah hero guys. Tapi RRQ tu sendiri yang kuat. Kau tengok cara RRQ masuk, keluar masuk macam mana guys.
But they do finish off the Zeus Raging Sandstorm, connects on Zeke, but the Landshaker gets through, but the Violent Requiem on 1. Purified though allows them to get out. Gary gonna be melted away. Natko has joined the fight currently 2 for 2.
Nako was free hitting the
Kau tengok
whole
cara dia
time.
keluar masuk, sumpah keren dulu cara dia keluar masuk. Si Maran tu dia. Tapi
Error
Raf
for
dekat
Alive,
sini
Gary is not.
aku boleh bagi
Vamos have
kredit
the
dekat Raf
advantage
guys.
for this
Sumpah Raf
turtle,
jago
but
teruk.
Retri is still on cooldown for another 5
Ini memang
seconds.
golin yang orang
Looks like they
dambakan
will
tu.
still be
Ya.
able to push it through, though.
Raf
RQ cannot
Raf
contest.
And the only
golin paling
reason that
paling
Vamos
mantap
didn't
aku
win
seraf
that fight
guys.
harder was because Super Yoshi soaked
Bangkit
out most of
dia
the
boleh
damage with the
dia
quicksand
boleh
guard.
gendong gila tim
Because
dia.
if Nako was feeding anyone else, they would have instantly be
Sonobar
shredded.
ni, sonobar.
That's the saving grace for RQ Tora, but good news for Vamos. They've shrunk that goal disadvantage from the early game down to less than 1,000, and Nako cashes in on a kill of his own too.
Yeah, Nako picking up a kill is gonna help heavily.
Okay guys, habis
We
game ni
know
saya
that
off guys.
nowadays-
Habis game ni saya off.
Gold laners play a pretty crucial role, and both of these players are capable of clutching up the late game. So whoever is able to get that lead is gonna set their team up quite well.
It's not as hopeless as it seemed. I was able to definitely reel it back. Obviously, Zeno now plays a very sacrificial role.
Facial migration misses. Raging Sandstorm used to
Oh!
escape, but the grab connects with him, and Super Yoshi will be pulled to his death.
Fed into the Natco machine.
Saya pergi
again.
makan, saya nak pergi makan.
Gary
ni.
was looking
Ya.
for an ambush angle in the top lane, but Zeno was not there at all. They might catch him if he rotates back up, but why do so? Nako was the win condition. He gets the golden stab, second kill of the game, and now he's gonna basically wreck this bottom tier 1. And life for Rough gets rougher.
They're gonna trade opposing tier 1s here, so despite RQ having a much better lead, Vamos are not far
Tengok
behind.
guys cara dia orang fight. Mana?
This is a good indication.
Aku cepat sikit, aku cepat
for
sikit. Aku
Yoshi.
malas tengok lama-lama
Zeke
guys.
chasing Gary away. Zeno probably gonna be sacrificed here. Tries the 1v1. Doesn't have it. One hit away. Wait, is Zeno? He's walking away. But Gary was
Mana ah?
doing enough damage to take him out.
Cara dia orang keluar masuk tu super
Favor,
keren
that's
gila
good.
Vamos.
Oh, they definitely saw
Sini
Gary,
sini
right?
sini guys.
They did. Gary was trying to bait them.
Tries to recall for Clockwood. He needs his mana back up. Doesn't have to enchant the talisman, which explains why.
This is a tense one. Both teams know how important this is. Vamos have been controlling things, but they know they could still fall away from them if they make a mistake.
Gary on the Clockwood.
Gary trying to go. Clarkun has to use the black shoes very early on.
Oh!
But Zeke on top of Gary. That's the jungler. He's not in the fight. Team Vamos wants to steal this. Raging Sandstorm comes out, plays into it. They're
Eh,
going
kau
for
tengok
that.
Narco ni
They're trying to
bangkit
find
tu.
them, but they're not able to find
Ada
anyone.
je orang menjaga dia
Get
tu.
the Lord. And now Vamos turns it around on them. Gary was able to get away from Zeke.
Ni kau tengok dia orang back, lepas tu dia orang masuk balik. Dekat sini pun dah boleh nampak guys. Betapa bagus ni dia orang guys. Dia orang tak blunder tu. Dia orang tak over ke tau. Kalau seorang mati sudah, tak payah pergi lagi. Bagus tu. Aku minat dengan permainan dia hari ni. Hari ni saja guys.
Lord falls into the hands of Team Vamos, and the fact that Gary was able to get out of that, I honestly thought Zeke was going to kill him when he lashed onto him. But thankfully that was not the case. Zeno,
Zeno, you shouldn't be here. Two-man final slash. Flickers out. He'll be okay. Ruff is starting to hurt quite a bit. So they have to respect the clock.
Oh, ai jangan hari ni je. Selalu lah. Alamak. InsyaAllah. Selalu tu insyaAllah ke.
great setup like he did previously.
Tapi permainan lama
Take out
lagi tu.
members
Ada
of
2
Arctic
minggu
Tour.
tu.
They can
Ada
definitely do
2
this. They've
liga tu.
reached the critical mass where Zeke
So,
is less of a
kalau kita
non-factor
kalah
as
hari
long
ni,
as
tak
they are
semestinya
able
esok
to
kita
pull him
menang tu.
up. So this loss shouldn't do too much unless
Eh,
Vamos wants to
Kalau
push
kita
the
kalah hari
envelope.
ni, esok bukan kalah.
Bit of a hard angle
Kalau
to
kita kalah sebab
collapse in
2 kali
from,
lawan kan.
especially since the Lord is already dying and Zeke is not here. So Vamos is going to have to accept that this objective
Lag lah.
resulted in-
Lag. Are you serious?
Game that we asked for. I mean, the bare minimum is Vamos taking 1 game off of the Kingdom, but now we are back at the even state, and Kim also has been able to. As long as Kim is alive, RQ Tora will have a higher chance of winning this out because of this disruption that they have.
That's a big wave down bottom. This should be a free inhibitor. Super Yoshi. Oh, he gets stunned. Nice
Kau tengok
from
tu,
Zeno,
Zeno
but do
jaga
they
kan.
wanna- Yes, they do. Violent Requiem onto the Khalid. They won't be able to kill. No, Final Slash puts him back once again. Quicksand Guard used. He's alive. Air 4 goes in. He's so low on HP thanks to the deadly magic, but he is able to jump away. And look at the healing from concentrated energy.
Kau tengok
Wow.
cara dia orang balik. Kau tengok cara dia orang balik guys.
That was actually the biggest
Gempak
difference
gila.
maker there.
Jangan pakai data
Concentrated
Madani.
energy to keep
Anu
him
orang kata
alive. The
tengah
Queen Queen
perang
as
lain
well
slow.
triggering.
Baik bacot.
And he has the Winter Crown on top of that if he does need it. Both sides inhibitor gone down.
Cara dia orang pergi
The,
tu, cara dia orang balik tu
Onyx
bagus
is
duk.
under a
Ya.
bit on the top side.
Memang permainan
And now the
macam
goal difference does not matter
ada
anymore
level
when it
lo,
comes
ada
to the
level lo.
item swaps. But I gotta say,
Berdisiplin
Nako
lo.
has been playing on the edge a little bit. 'Cause,
Beza oh dengan sebelum
those
ni main
deadly
oh.
magic
Sebelum ni main
connections,
mak bingai
they
nya.
hurt so much.
But I think it's actually not a bad idea to be a little aggro here. Especially on one of his most comfortable heroes. This is the best opportunity to do it. Because you have to make a difference
Bukan,
now.
bukan masa
We're
Cibin
20
Azor,
minutes
masa
in,
week pertama
game is still
guys.
pretty
Week
even.
pertama, week pertama.
Biggest challenge
Week
for
pertama kau
Arctic
tengok
right
Vamos
now is
main macam
having
mana guys.
both
Aneh
side lanes
kau tahu.
go down. And still
Aku kena
needing
ban
to
Yen. Tak
somehow
tahulah.
get into position to fight Team Vamos. Because I feel like
Tak
that would
tahulah
be
kenapa
the
kena ban.
only way back or the easiest way back. And that includes them risking it all for the biscuit. Whoa.
Ni bagus tu.
They
Ni
see Super
map
Yoshi.
Winners ni dekat sini map Winners
Dangerous.
bagus
Oh,
nampak.
they've been scouted by Kim. RQ not willing to go for the full commit. They don't see the rest of Vamos yet.
But it does allow them
Itu
to
map
walk up and
awareness memang
get
tinggi tu.
control just for a little bit. Rav will need to deal with the wave in the top lane. Bottom lane pretty much pushed in. So RQ Tora able to set up with the rest of the members around this pit.
Even without the Claude here, Vamos
Kemah tu
cannot
game Vamos. Ya,
start
kemah
like
game punya.
willy-nilly. They know how quickly he can clear
Ya,
and
aku nak
rejoin.
tanya sama ada kau guna papan
But this is Gary.
seluncur
They
kot
don't.
apa Sama
gonna be
kau
reset
guna
once
papan
again.
seluncur kot apa
Who is going to make
Huh?
the first move? They scout
Papan
Gary.
seluncur.
Yep.
Thanks to Ziki.
Skateboard.
Top wave still in the base, but should
Ada
be cleared
tinggi
up by
kan?
the minion wave in no time.
Yang dah glory ke?
But now
Dah.
there's the bottom wave. The long lane is now pushing in. And the Lord is max stack.
Error goes in, forces Purify from Kim. The Lord knocked
Kau tengok kau tengok saya cara dua balik kau tengok saya. Kau tengok
Underground going to be used. Misses the
Nampak tu.
Lightstriker.
Error.
Error
Kau tengok tu.
is able to
Error
escape.
4-4.
Another clock hood. On top of Kim. Nako doing damage. Replacing Winter comes in with the Wind of Nature. Ruff going to be able to melt
Tengok
away.
gepak
but
gila.
not able to get
Sumpah.
any
Nampak
kills.
tu.
And now Zeno. The
Bangkit.
final slap. Suryoshi walks away with 1 HP. Wintercrown once again going to be used on Gary. He's going to be the first casualty of the fight. Zeno loses immortality. Ruff is trying to rejoin, but there's too many of them. Vamos are so low right now, but there's just not enough cooldowns left. They pop the conceal, but they know they cannot chase.
Now without Gary around for 40 seconds, this should be a good window.
Siren jumps in once again. Well, look at the melt. Oh my God, the final slash. Team Vamos.
Oh, gepak tu sumpah.
They found the angle. All 5 members standing.
Cara dia orang
Only
masuk lepas tu dia orang
Super
keluar
Yoshi
tu.
left to
Gepak tu.
And a standing ovation from the Vamos camp. Arrow 4 celebrates. Unprecedented, but an upset by the villains themselves. No longer the ones that are looked down upon as they etch their mark
Oh,
on
bocil
the
tak relax tu
kingdom
bocil tu
walls
sumpah. Kau tengok ni guys
of
bocil guys. Kau tengok bocil guys.
RQ Tora as themselves.
Tengok bocil. Kau
No
tengok ni bocil.
longer the
Tengok bocil ni, bocil. Error.
ones
Error 4-4.
that are looked down
Wah,
upon
ai, tak relax
as
dulu
they
kau cil.
etch their mark on the kingdom walls
Relax tu
of
cil.
our RQ Tora.
Jangan tu continue kan?
The
Ya.
newly undefeated
Bagi lah
branch
betul kat
of
komen
the
lagi Aero. Oh
kingdom
ya
has been toppled.
Macam darah cibi tu.
Most unlikely
Anak dia naik cibi bodoh.
new era of Team
Anak dia naik cibi.
has clean
Dia darah cibi.
RQ Tora.
Anak dia naik cibi gila
The
tu.
serpent
Bapak
beckons today
Baru
against
umur
the Tigers.
17. Hype betul kan?
What an impressive performance
Dia
from Team
orang keluar masuk tu
Vamos.
nak. Ya,
I
dia
think,
orang keluar masuk tu
like
sumpah.
we said at the
Gempak gila
start,
tu.
this was
Dia orang keluar masuk
RQ
guys.
Tora favor. But
Gempak.
Vamos tipped the odds and had now shown themselves
Senang je,
as a
senang
true
idea
contender
sikit. Oh,
in the
sumpah
regular
lah.
season.
No, pula.
It is time
Dia
to
serang kenapa tu?
revisit the
Dia
tier
tak biasa dengan
list.
kekalahan tu.
Ladies
What
and
the fuck, man?
gentlemen, no one would have expected
Menang
this
game kena
one.
bacok tau cik. Bocil.
We thought it'd be a good
Kena
fight.
serang,
It would be a
cara dia.
close battle.
Esok kena bantai lagi ada
But we
tu.
would
Habis
not
dah
have
kena kau
expected
memberiak.
a
Meriah
complete
betul kat IG
domination.
Aero.
Vamos has improved
Diorang
by
mana boleh terima
leaps and
kekalahan,
bounds.
alamak.
Yeah, just
Duit ni.
making better decisions
Katanya
as well. The
memang
team
kali
fights were
ada
clean.
kata
The
orang terlalu percaya
execution
diri. Dia bukan
was pixel perfect.
nak kata terlalu percaya diri
And
tu
you can feel
tidak
how-
guys. Okey, kalau kau tanya aku guys, RRQ terlalu percaya diri. Bagi aku tidak guys. Sebab apa? Okey, sebab apa guys Sebab apa guys Sebab sebab dia main draft dia guys. Faham tak? Dia bukan main draft yang memang dia dah biasa main. Tapi dia main Hali. Dia main meta Hali. So, dia tak percaya diri. Itu namanya dia orang percaya dengan draft dia orang tu. Tapi 2 kali main Hali. Mana terima RQ kena taruh. Saya penuh dengan halah Vamos kan. Oh ya Oh cik nampaknya fans Vamos sudah keluar daripada gua. Fans Vamos sudah keluar daripada gua. Kalau memang kena outplay, terimalah. Ya, dia orang memang kena outplay lah. Bukan sebab percaya diri tu geng. Dia orang memang kena permainan Vamos tu yang sendiri yang bagus. Gary tak boleh bawa Ali. Bukan.
Scared?
Bukan.
It's I.
Bagus.
You guys
Sebenarnya
were nervous,
bagus
right?
guys.
Mungkin kita boleh start dulu kot dengan Natko.
Cuma
Sebab
Vamos
kalau
hari ni
kita
bagus.
bezakan permainan
Itu je
Natko
tu.
daripada
Vamos hari
minggu
ni
pertama
lebih
sampai
bagus.
sekarang,
Itu je.
I think that we can say that the difference
Bukan
is quite big.
RRQ
Natko
yang
dapat improve banyak and then
try
minggu
meta
lepas dan minggu ni memang Natko shine
yang
gila-gila
tengah
lah
jatuh
dalam
ke
game
tak.
ni, kita
Tapi
boleh
hari
kata.
ni Vamos
Apa
terlalu bagus.
sebenarnya punca
Kalau kau tengok daripada game
Natko,
pertama, game kedua,
improve
sumpah bagus
gameplay
teruk.
sedrastik macam tu?
Si Zeno
Based on
bagus.
apa ya?
Rom bagus.
Mungkin
Natko
tim
bagus.
Tim yang
Cara
apa,
the bus.
pengen aku buat lebih improve. Terus dari coach juga
Aku improve
banyak
gila, ya.
ajar lah, banyak
Disiplin kan? Disiplin
banyak
tu.
learn lah.
Kali ni nampak lain daripada lain
banyak,
lah. Kalau sebelum ni
ambil
Vamos macam
ilmu
bingai
dan
tu. Ni
input
Vamos
daripada
nampak
coach
kuat
dan
lah.
juga tim
Cuma
juga.
dari
nampak
tim
bingai-bingai.
paling besar sih.
Biasanya tim
Tim
cakap
and
apa?
coach.
Sebab we know that team Vamos sekarang
Yang gameplay inter
banyak
masuk-masuk keluar.
we
Ya.
could say junior players lah kan.
Yeah.
So macam mana adik-adik nasihat ataupun tolong Natko dalam game?
Cakap jangan mati banyak, gendong tim.
Gendong tim.
Jadi panas lah, panas.
Main
I
kiting,
see.
ya.
So dorang macam tenangkan.
Diorang yang
and then
bagus sebenarnya
always
kan. Kalau
convince
tanya
you
aku
like,
bagus,
okay,
yang bagus.
Natko kena gendong
Sebab
ni,
draft
sabar
pun
sikit, macam tu.
okey. Draft
Okay,
RRQ
we
pun
like that.
okey. Draft
And
daripada
of course,
Sasa pun okey.
Berjaya kalahkan
Draft daripada
and of course,
game pertama
patahkan
pun
win streak
okey.
RRQ Tora 2-0
Draft game
in
kedua
a
pun
very
okey. Cuma game
amazing
pertama
and
tu dia
clean
kena
style
outplay
daripada team
dengan
Vamos. So, adakah team Vamos
Uranus.
expected this win today?
Game kedua dia kena
yeah.
outplay
Oh, expected. So meaning to say
dengan
Vamos sudah
Glue.
buat preparation dah
Macam
lama untuk
okey
perlawanan
lah
ini.
tu. Serius.
Kita confident.
Glue dengan Uranus tu yang buat
Oh,
kacau sebenarnya.
What made you guys so confident?
Kali ni bagi aku nampak kemas. Ya.
Yes, coach.
Pabet, coach is very confident.
Yeah, I can see.
Artis
In
sengaja
the
kalah
face cam,
sebab
coach
nak lawan
was so
SLG
confident.
esok.
Coach, why
Esok
are
pun
you
kalah.
so confident about the match today?
I think all based on our result also. in the
SRG
scores.
RRQ sengaja kalah nak lawan SRG esok. Masalahnya esok pun kalah doh. Macam mana doh?
And yeah, that's the confidence comes from. And everybody in the back was
Macam mana
also,
doh?
cheering for us.
Nak lawan SRG esok doh. Lawan
Okay,
SRG
now,
kalah
Coach
guys.
Pakbet, I want to ask.
Dia kata
The
draft
first
update memang
2
solid.
weeks
Oh
of
yeah.
MPLMY, Vamos looked rather shaky.
Yeah.
What was the main reason
Esok macam
towards the
semua
shakiness?
kalah
I
je.
think,
Kalau
the
lawan dengan
process
SRG
is
minta
not
maaf
overnight for
untuk
us.
tim untuk
We need time
supporter
to adjust.
tim
And
yang lain macam like
Our
Vamos
chemistry,
ke RRQ ke
I think is
BTRN
right now.
ke
And but
apa-apalah
I
guys
think
yang
it's,
ada kan.
a lot of improvement.
Aku
also
anggap,
right now. We will
Kan
I think we did see a lot of
7 tim
improvements
yang
from
lain
Team
ni
Vamos compared to
semua
one, right?
50-50 guys.
Now after this win,
Cuma
and it's a very
SRG
convincing win
saja
against
yang
RRQ
aku
Tora.
meletakkan
Does this
dia
mean that Vamos is
100%
already
win.
100% back in the game?
Yang lain
Have you guys regained
50-50.
your
Cuma SRG
confidence
saja
and
yang
all
aku
the
letak
morale that you guys used to have
100% win.
prior to this?
No debat guys. Ini serius guys.
Yeah,
Ini
I
serius.
think-
Aku cakap ini serius guys.
So, you think your
SRG
next game
saja
up
yang
against Team
100%
Flash, where
win.
Zorn is at,
Kalau
you
tim
guys are
lain
actually
aku
very
still letak
confident?
50-50
Yeah, we're
guys. Aku
confident
tak
against
tak boleh nak
Zorn,
expect
so
like
we need
diorang
to be ready
menang
to face
ke
us.
memang wajib menang tidak guys. Aku
tadi
still
Rose
50-50.
interview Zorn and he
Saya
said siap-siap
cakap
Vamos.
draft saya
I
sudah
said,
lepas paling
just
badut.
wait,
Dia
get
lepas
ready for him.
oh.
But thank you very much, Coach Pakbet.
Faham.
Alright guys, kita dah nampak perlawanan clean sweep.
Match
Tapi
pun
hanya
jadi badut.
seorang yang boleh menjadi MVP of the
Dekat
match.
Omega.
Siapakah
Kalau orang SRG
MVP
kalah je
anda?
baru seru. Ya, tapi aku tak tahulah guys. Aku tak ada
Mari
feel
kita tengok
SRG
MVP
kalah.
in 3,
Aku tak ada feel. Aku tak ada
2,
keyakinan
1.
SRG
MVP
kalah.
jatuh kepada
Gitulah. Okay lah guys, kita end dulu guys. Kita end dulu.
kepada
Aku tak ada
kepada
keyakinan SRG akan kalah guys.
siapa? Who?
Faham? Aku still letak SRG win rate dia 100%. Walaupun dia nak kalah tapi aku tak rasa yang dia akan kalah.
Alright, Zikif, come
Contohlah dia
join
kalah
us
first
up
game.
on
Aku tak rasa dia akan
stage.
kalah sampai 3 game.
Natko, I nak tanya.
Sampai 2 game
Zikif
straight
ni
tak.
dekat
Aku
rumah
tak
macam
rasa.
mana?
Dia mesti akan menang
Banyak
balik.
cakap
Game
ke,
kedua dan game
pemalu
ketiga.
ke?
Macam itulah.
Ya
Maksudnya
macam
100% win lah tu.
badut.
Selalu
Dia
buat
lawan
apa?
tim PH je duk. Ya,
Semua hal
betul.
dia buat.
Semua hal dia buat.
Kalau kau tanya aku, SRG ni lawan dia tim
Oh.
PH je guys.
You know what, Zikif, congratulations. Walaupun Natko baru cakap
Esok
ini
nak keluar
badut.
main tapu
Tapi
kat ye lepas Hanabi.
congratulations atas kemenangan ini. How do you
Esok aku
feel?
rasa akan ada
Mesti hype kan?
Leslie.
Happy lah, happy.
Happy.
Lawan Cloud.
Bersyukur.
Kau tak percaya kan?
Bersyukur.
Esok akan ada geng Leslie
Okay,
lawan Cloud.
Zikif.
Okay lagi
Rose
kita
nak
off dulu guys
tanya.
Bye geng. Assalamualaikum
masuk
warahmatullahi
ini, ramai orang
wabarakatuh. Kita
dah
jumpa lagi next stream guys. Kita saya
Compare
pada 3 jam
you
lebih
dengan
ni.
Zorn, betul. Last
Kita
week,
sambung
Zikif cakap,
esok
Zikif nak
pula.
prove them
Esok
wrong.
esok
Tapi
esok
minggu
pagi
ni,
kita
I
akan
think we
main
will be
rank.
seeing
Lepas
a
tu petang kita
showdown.
akan nobar. Okay guys.
Ah,
Bye
dah
geng.
ready
Terima
kau
kasih
untuk jumpa
YouTube.
Zorn?
Terima kasih TikTok. Terima kasih
dah.
sudi support
Dah.
saya guys.
Is
Semoga
there
korang tengok ni
anything
murah.
yang nak cakap
Esok
kepada
kita
Zone?
akan predict lagi guys.
Well played bro.
Terima kasih Anan. Nan, kau lambat lah Nan.
Saksikan recall.
Aku tadi kena buka baju dok tadi dok. Aku kena buka baju dok.
Recall. Di dalam
Aku kena buka baju dok tadi Vamos menang. Aku dah janji tadi guys. Tadi aku dah janji dok Nan. Aku cakap kalau Vamos menang aku kena buka baju. Aku kena buka baju dok tadi. Lambat dok Nan kau. Aduh.
Betul. Okay,
Mana operatornya aku dah sokong ni. Menang dah ni. Aku dah sokong menang dah ni. Operator tak keluar.
And of course, Natko pernah main dengan
Buka bawah kaya.
Adakah you rasa itu
Buka
satu
baju,
benefit
buka
untuk
baju.
membantu you
Ni lagi
guys
kita off
untuk
dia.
lawan Zorn
Kita lagi
Ahad
nak
ni?
sim guys. Teh lah kita letih. Sedap kentut. Bakal sampai OL. Okey. Tak.
Teammate dia akan tahu apa.
Nampak bro, apa aja. Pasal week betul. Masih panjang week guys. Apa boleh jadi guys. Boleh menang, boleh kalah. Semua tim 50-50. Itu kau dengar guys aku cakap
Boleh juga.
Semua tim bagi aku 50-50.
Okay, you know what, Ziki,
Faham
is there
tak?
anything
Tak
yang
ada
nak
yang
cakap kepada
always
fans
menang,
Vamos yang
tak ada
datang
yang
hari
always
ni?
kalah, tak ada guys.
Meriah sangat-sangat
Semua tim boleh menang,
meriah.
semua tim boleh kalah.
Shout out to Forza Vamos
Kecuali
sebab
SRG.
support kita orang.
Okay. Okay,
Thank you semua datang. And thank you juga kepada sponsor